Hello. So the plan is for today is to try to get through at least 2 chapters. Hopefully 3, because I've noticed that each chapter takes about an hour and a half for me to read instead of an hour, because, wow, the series is getting longer. But that's the general idea. We have changed a couple things around. We've got the little content warning in the corner there, because we are dealing with some tough themes, and it has gotten a little bit darker story-wise. So, yeah. Let's begin. End of chapter 5. So, if I'm lucky, I should get through 8? 7 or 8 today? Damn it. Why did she do that? That's about what I expected. Mion called me in the middle of the night. The social worker went to Satoko's house tonight, after getting a call from the school. They had a talk with Satoko and her uncle. He told them that Satoko didn't go to school today because of a cold. He also claimed he didn't call the school because he didn't have the number. He explained that he spoke with Chie-sensei politely, and that she just misunderstood his behavior. So Satoko didn't talk, but she never denied what her uncle was saying. So she said there was no abuse, and that she doesn't need any help? Yes. Satoko's always thought that her brother disappeared because she kept relying on him. That's why. She thinks she needs to handle it on her own without seeking anyone's help? That's ridiculous. According to the social worker, she didn't have any obvious injuries, so they think this isn't an urgent case. It seems that she's being fed, and that she has a place to sleep, too. Shouldn't that be a given? Are you saying that's not abuse as long as she has something to eat and somewhere to sleep? That's how they view it, at least. In some cases, people refuse to even let the social worker come inside the house just because they were able to talk with her uncle tonight. They determined that it wasn't urgent. So after all that, they put her case on hold. I bet Shion is disappointed. I bet Shion's being held back right now. Yeah. Just like how Satoko refused to seek anyone's help because of Satoshi, Shion is also trying desperately to save Satoko because of him. She seems calm now, though. That's when she's scariest! Even though she's very upset. I know this isn't the time for complaining. Where the hell did Satoshi go? His sister is in danger. I have no idea where he is. I know. I'm sorry. I was hoping that he would save her if he came back. But it's a waste of time to think about that. I can't hope for someone else to save her. We're the ones who will. That's right. We have to do what we can. I'm impressed with the power of the Sonozaki family, though. You have information from the social worker already. You must have a spy in the center. Hehehe, that's a national secret. So you know someone who knows a lot about the center? Did they give you any idea what we should do next? Well, I was advised to just stay calm and see what happens. What the hell? Did you talk to them about the situation she's in right now? Her uncle is locking her up and abusing her. We should just kick down... why should we just kick down and see what happens? Or kick back and see what happens. I'm thinking about kicking down the door. Well, Kei-chan, this is not my opinion, okay? I'm just telling you what I was told by my contact. See, it's true that Satoko didn't show up at school today. But that's just one day. Yeah, they don't get concerned, what was it, till like 10 unexplained absences without a doctor's note or something like that? Or at least that's how it is in the US. I'm not sure how it is about in Japan. It's not like she's been absent for weeks or months. We can't really deny the possibility that she just has a cold. But she's being abused. You're saying that we should stay calm while she's being physically and emotionally harmed? Wait a minute, Kei-chan, that's the whole point. We're concerned because we know what happened to her last year, but she wasn't hurt yesterday or today. We can't really prove she's being abused or not. She may not have a bruise on her body yet, it's only a matter of time. Besides, isn't the abuse to force her to come back to live with him? Remember what we're talking about at school. It's normal for a legal guardian to take the child under their custody. We can't, definitely say that it's abuse yet. But we have to do something before it happens. I'm sorry for yelling at you. I knew it wasn't Mion's opinion, but it felt like she was telling me that when I raised my voice. When I sensed her dismay, I quickly apologized. I explained to my contact what happened to Satoko last year, but last year's case was resolved by waiting it out too. Last year's abuse only stopped because of the fourth curse, right? It's not like the Child Consultation Center resolved it. Still, either way, both last year and now, the Child Consultation Center doesn't think our case warrants much urgency. Seems our opponent this time is that difference in urgency between us and them. I see. We've done what we can. Now we need to come up with a plan B. We should have a meeting tomorrow. With all the fearless members of our club. We've gone through worse than this before. We'll save her for sure. Yes. As we spoke, I felt less angry about the decision that the Child Consultation Center made. It was something that we expected anyway. I was being emotional for a while, but Mion wasn't taking it personally. She's usually a tough person, but I know that she feels very weak when something like this happens. I have to be careful not to get too emotional with her. Our enemy was Tepe. I couldn't yell at my friends just because I was frustrated. I almost forgot sometimes, but Mion is a girl. There's no way yelling at her without cause wouldn't hurt her. I mean, granted, it'd be the same for boys, but whatever! I think I have a tendency to lash out with my emotions sometimes. Sometimes? I definitely need to rein in that bad habit, especially during emergencies like this. All I could do by myself was probably the same thing Shion was suggesting earlier. But I knew that wouldn't make Satoko happy. We club members are fearless. But the power I possess is the smallest among all of us. That's why I needed to communicate with them. If we united, we would be able to come up with a better plan. I couldn't think of a plan all by myself. 3 heads are better than 1. We would definitely figure something out. I'm going to call Rika-chan now. Will you call Rena? Sure. Rena was a good match for Shion today. She impressed me a lot. She's tough when push comes to shove. Yeah, Rena is always reliable when we're in trouble. But you impressed me too, Kei-chan. We're kinda cool today. I just kinda feel embarrassed now. That speech was a little corny, huh? I'm hanging up now. I'm sure Rena is waiting. Give her a call, okay? Yep. Say hi to Rika-chan. I think she's been hurt the most by all of this. Rika-chan was looking at the ground with a depressed look on her face all day. My chest hurt just remembering it. It must be even more painful to look at Satoko. Mion hung up the phone. I also hung up, then called Rena. Hi, Weedy, good to see you! She picked up the phone after one ring, which surprised me. Hello, Rena? You were waiting for the call, huh? Yes. I called, but it was busy, so I didn't know what to do. You called me when I was talking with Mion. She's calling Rika-chan now. She told me to call you. Let me explain to you what happened. Okay, is the case on hold? Yeah. Unfortunately. I'm really upset. But that's what we expected. I can guess what they said. It's only been a day or so. There's nothing definite. Yeah. She may have missed school because she really had a cold today. Plus, she didn't have any obvious injuries. Oh, compliments for you. I did not see that redeemed. Weedy is my dear, dear friend, and I care about her a whole lot. And I hope she's doing well. And I just want everything to be okay for her. Because I care about her a whole lot, and I want everything to be okay. I hope we continue to be friends. Because you're awesome. Is my guess right? Did you put a bug on my phone? Yeah, you got it exactly right. It's total bullshit. It's only been a day is such a horrible phrase, isn't it? Especially since it's too late after he really hurts her. If he really does, then Satoka's injuries will be plain for everyone to see. But if that happens, her uncle will never let any social workers see her. And then... Ad break. Alright, let's see if I can find my spot again. Her uncle will never... And then, they'll just say they couldn't find any signs of abuse, and go back to waiting again. It's such a huge contradiction, isn't it? Apparently they need court approval to force entry, but applying for that isn't easy. So while social workers may be supposed to have great legal power, in reality, their hands are tied and they can't act if the family turns them away. They're not the police. They're not the ones who storm in, even if they have to break the windows to do so. Damn it. Then who does have the right to break those windows? If we did, I'd smash them wide open. Anyway, they're not that serious about this case. They have no idea what will happen to Satoka if we don't do anything about it. I'm impressed. Wait, why? You just moved to the village not too long ago. You've only known her for just a few months. But you're so serious about saving her. You don't even know what happened to her last year. But you can imagine how hurt Satoko-chan is right now. If you were an ordinary person, I'm sure that you'd tell us. Just relax. It's only been one day. It's not that difficult to imagine how horrible it is for her. I also heard from you guys how terrible it was last year. It's no question that this case requires immediate attention. That's still impressive. You stopped Shi-chan when she tried to leave the classroom. What you said there was pretty deep. Do you think Satoko would appreciate it if you saved her by committing murder? It's not something an average boy would say. In fact, sorry, but I thought you were going to say something like what Shi-chan suggested. That's our Rena. She saw right through me to the core. To be honest, I was able to keep calm because Shion caused that commotion. I, too, thought our only option was to kill him. What's there to hesitate about? Everything would be resolved if we just went over and killed her uncle right away! I thought those same things myself. And then I thought about how I would actually kill him. First I'd assault him with a metal bat or something. Have you done this before? But before that I would scope out his house and dig a hole and bury his body ahead of time. When I imagined it, I envisioned myself actually digging the hole with a camping shovel in the woods. I repeated, "This is for Satoko, this is for Satoko," in my mind like a mantra, trying to forget the weight of the murder ahead. I relived that exhaustion and frustration. I could very clearly imagine myself standing there, soaking with sweat, covered in mosquito bites. Then I'm sure I'd call her uncle or something to lure him out of the house, and then bludgeon him to death. And I'd repeat my mantra of, "This is for Satoko, this is for Satoko," blaming her for that serious crime as I tried to avoid my own guilt over committing murder. Did Satoko ask me to do that? Am I going to blame it all on her because I committed murder? Would she appreciate that? No, she wouldn't. I wouldn't be able to tell anyone that I had killed someone. No one would appreciate my deed, and I'd have to carry that burden for the rest of my life. A pathetic future is one I could have imagined in a rush I felt before carrying out the murder. I decided to kill him so I could return us to happier times. But the act of murder also meant shattering the thin path that could lead us back there. I was able to imagine it that far ahead. That's why I didn't say it out loud like Shion did. If I hadn't thought out that far, I probably would have joined Shion in shouting, "Kill him! Kill him!" Uh-huh. It would have been really hopeless if you had done that. I'm glad you have such a vivid imagination. I'm glad. Was that really just my imagination, though? Did I imagine killing her uncle in my mind? Could imagination alone really be that vivid? I could smell the earth, taste the scattered dirt flying into my mouth, see the pebbles scattering as I shoved my shovel down, hearing the roots cracking from the weight. The image was so real it felt more like I had actually done it in the past. Excuse me, I must wiggly eyebrows this. I must wiggly eyebrows. That's right. It's important to imagine the consequences. Right. You don't want to grow up with no imagination. I think you'll grow up to be a calm, reasonable adult, Keiichi-kun. I wonder if that was only my imagination. I feel like I've been through a different life before. People with good imagination can take a look at every possibility. If you really feel like you saw that future, I think it wasn't just your imagination. You saw a possible future that could have happened. Is that imaginary world the Child Consultation Center put her whole case on? In that imaginary world, the Child Consultation Center put her case on hold too. Satoko came back to school for a while, but she broke only after a few days. Satoko was bearing the abuse, but even something small would be enough to break her. Just like an old bowl that had a crack in it. One day the crack would eventually widen and the bowl would shatter. In my imaginary world, Satoko broke when I rubbed her head. She thought my hand was her uncle's hand. She pushed me away and hid behind the curtain and cried out for her brother, saying, "Nini! Nini!" Who told you that she called her brother Nini? Huh? I don't know. I guess someone did. That's what she calls Satoshi, right? Anyway, it was just devastating to hear her cry like that. I wanted to comfort her, but I couldn't even get close. She cried more as I walked to her, because she thought I was her uncle. You're amazing, Keiichi-kun. Can't believe that was only your imagination. That's exactly how Satoko-chan was last year. I remember it clearly, but it's impressive how you can imagine it since you've only been here for a few months. You really are amazing. So that explains why you feel the same urgency we do. So you feel the same way I do? Yes. I can't imagine it as clearly as you have, but I think Satoko-chan will break in a few days if we don't do anything about this. I think she will hide behind the curtain and scream for her Nini. That's when we'll finally realize something. It's not a crime to be powerless. It's a crime to do nothing. Huh? It's only in my imagination, but I'm crying as though this happened right in front of me. Renegade can also sense the urgency that we need to save Satoko. Not everybody feels that way, though. My friends all do, but they're special. And normal people like those at the Child Consultation Center see us overreaching. They have a point, though. We don't really have anything to say back to them if they're going to claim it's only been one day. It's just like getting a cold. Doctors always say, let's see what happens for a couple of days. Rena, I think we should trust our instincts. We have no time to spare. We have to save Satoko now. Yes. Even if I can't come up with a good idea on our own, together we can accomplish anything. When I was down and depressed before, someone told me the same thing. I think now is the time to come together and show people what we can do. Yeah. I don't know who told you that, but that's exactly how I feel. It was you, Keiichi! It was strange. I've had this feeling ever since Rena told me this story at school. I felt like I too once learned a lesson after some event. But Rena and I only met recently. I guess it's just a coincidence. Anyway, I feel so lonely inside of my imagination. I thought it was stupid for them to only sit and think about how they could save Satoko, and I made a selfish decision. But I eventually learned, just like Rena did. You'll never come up with anything good by worrying about something on your own. It's like it's a thesis or something. You have to talk with your friends. That way, they will help you reach the best possible solution. You said something when you stood in Shi-chan's way today. You told her to trust you. You said you didn't have any idea yet, but that you would find one soon. I'm going to trust you. I believe that you will come up with the best solution. Don't just rely on me. You can give me ideas if you have any. Oh, that's not what I meant. I have faith in my friends at all times. I'm going to trust us. I know that we can save Satoko-chan, but we're not going to use a shortcut. That's right. We will save her from this mess. Keep on believing. I believe in us too. I will never think that I'm the only one who's trying to save her. I believe that all of us feel the same way. Let's have a meeting tomorrow. Chie-sensei might have new information too. We might not be able to come up with a good idea right away, but she might have something. Yeah, you're right. I know there's always another option. That's right. We're not going to give up. There is a better way. I'm sure there is. We might not find it right away, but we'll never give up. No, never. Mion praised her for it too, but Rena really is strong in a crisis. I got a little emotional when I was talking with Mion, but Rena is different. Her fire is quiet and blue, so at first glance it seems lesser than my bright red roaring blaze, but the truth is the opposite. Blue flames are far hotter. As I spoke with Rena, I felt my useless wild energy calming down so I could rationally search for the best solution. Though, through that, I felt Rena's strength. Though apparently Rena felt similarly about me. When I'm talking with you, I feel like I can accomplish anything. You're so strong and reliable. I feel more courageous when I talk with you. I feel more confident that we can save Satoko-chan. I get calmness from you, and you gain confidence from me. We balance each other out like that, huh? We're a good combination. Ichan has a lot of power as a member of the Sonozaki family, but she has a very frail heart. But I believe that you and I can support her. That's right. We have nothing to be scared of. Yeah, I agree. Talking to Rena made me feel very confident. If I can share that confidence with my friends, I'll never feel down and miserable ever again. I'm going to give all my power to the other club members so we can fight even harder. Rika-chan is really depressed right now. She lost her will to fight. But I'm sure she'll get that will back when she sees us working hard. You're right. Once she gets her willpower back, nothing can stop us. I'll see you tomorrow. Let's talk about our plan and involve the principal too. We should get advice from as many people as we can. Let's find the best possible solution. That's the best thing we can do right now. Yeah. I got off the phone with Rena. That was a pretty passionate conversation we were having. It's unfortunate that the Child Consultation Center came to the conclusion they did. But if they could still decide to wait and see, then prove that Satoko was that proved that Satoko was still safe for now. We are no more than children. Worrying about it too much won't cause us to come up with any good ideas. Murder isn't a real solution. But I had to admit, I thought about it once. It's easy to burn up in rage. However, I'd have to stay calm like Rena. She was still burning up very calmly with a blue and quiet flame. I'd never seen anything like it before. Keiichi, go take a bath already. Hurry up! I heard my mom speaking to me. You can go ahead of me, Mom. I needed more time to think about what to do with Satoko. Everyone else was probably doing the same. You should go first. There's bath salt from a real hot spring in there. It feels really good on your skin. I don't think there's bath salt in real hot springs. Milk tastes good after a bath. My dad seemed to be in a good mood. He probably finished his work. He was as scary as a bear when he has an artist block. Maybe. Maybe my parents could help with an idea. They were the closest adults to me, after all. Should I talk to them? Stupid question. I had no reason not to. I'd have to talk to them to seek some advice. Dad, I have something I want to talk to you about. Huh? What's this? About the auction of the coming festival? You have my full support. Speaking of which, when's the next festival committee meeting? They called me to participate too. I'll have to mark my calendar. Oh, it's not about that. My classmate is in trouble. As I talked about Satoko, my mom joined us and listened in as well. My dad is a strange artist, but my mom is a normal person with common sense. She might be able to help. I just got a call and found out they put her case on hold. We're wondering what we should do now. They already called the Child Consultation Center, so you should let them take care of it. She was being abused last year too, right? I don't know how bad it was, but I think it's wrong for him to force her to move out of her friend's place. He was neglecting her for a year after all. You can't just wait and see what happens just because the consultation center said so. We're her friends, so we want to be more aggressive about saving her. But we have no idea how we can do that. Keiichi, don't even think about attacking him. Okay, this is enough of a... Yeah, nope, this is a thing our son can do. I'm not... I would have talked to you guys I wouldn't talk to you guys if that was on my mind. That's true. I thought you might ask how to commit a perfect crime. Hey, I would never ask my parents something like that. Except for you totally did. I think. Keiichi, you're right. There are many battles in this world, but it's always important that you follow the rules. People won't help you if you're going to break them, and they won't respect you either. You have to fight according to the rules. Are there even rules for technically, yes, there are rules for warfare. Well, anyway. Do you have any ideas? My parents have been alive more than twice as long as me. So, given that, probably mid-30s? Maybe 40s? They must have had some experience with things like this. They must have many good ideas. At least that's what I thought. They crossed their arms and went silent. Calling the Child Consultation Center is the first thing you should do. But what do you do if that doesn't work? Do you think we can really rely on the law? Do you think the police won't do anything until Satoko is seriously injured? I think you have to make an appeal. Appeal? What do you mean, sue him? That's not it. The Child Consultation Center is supposed to take care of child abuse cases. But if you're unsatisfied with the decision they make an appeal to the court? Keiichi, you go to court when you can't resolve an issue with the person you're dealing with. It's the final place you go to. You want the Child Consultation Center to protect Satoko-chan, right? They made the decision that you disagree with. And? We need to make an appeal to the Child Consultation Center. If we're unsatisfied with the decision they made, we can simply go to them and tell them that. We need to go there and explain to them how serious this case is. Yeah, that sounds good. They have no idea what situation Stoko-chan is in right now. Since they're misunderstanding what's going on, we have to go there and make it clear. I see. That's the best approach. I don't know about that. I've heard that they never change their decision once it's made. It might just be a waste of time. We don't know that until we try. Giving up before even trying is what losers do. We have to try everything we can. Remember what the principal said? We'll fail if we just give up before even trying. Shion, your fire is blazing bright red, ready to do whatever it takes, even if that's acting hasty to save Satoko. But truly hot fire is blue and calm. Don't give up. We should do everything we can. What do you think, Chie-sensei? Am I wrong? No. You're not saying anything wrong. You've calmed down a lot. I was concerned for you because I thought you might come up with an idea to attack him in the dark. That's what my mom was saying. Is that how people perceive me? I thought we should wait and see what happens. But after hearing everything all of you have said and thinking about what happened last year, I now understand that this is an emergency situation. People can change their minds if you're persuasive enough. The Child Consultation Center might change their mind too. They might reverse their decision if you succeed in making an appeal. What do you think? What do you think, Shi-chan? You could fight with us rather than thinking about it all alone. I'm not feeling lonely. I'm not sad because I'm all alone. You do sound awfully sad, actually. Maybe you do want to join us. Whatever. Fine then. Let's just go to the Child Consultation Center. I'm going to punch them in their faces if they don't do something. That's not a good idea, but I feel your passion now. I guess you calmed down after getting some sleep. I'm just as serious about this is all. Anyway, let's go and make this happen. I know where the Child Consultation Center is. Oh, this old man didn't know until recently, but it's on the first floor of the library. Mion grinned and showed us the location up in a city guidebook. She's really prepared for this. This office is open until 5:15. Don't try and pick a fight with them. We have to stay calm. What? Are you talking to me, sis? Who do you think I am? I'll cry if I have to, regardless, to make them change their minds. That's it, Shi-chan. I think we can make it if we leave right now. It was past 3 o'clock. We'd make it before they closed if we rushed there on our bikes. They're strict about time, aren't they? They might kick us out as soon as it's time to close. The door will close on time. But once we're inside, they'll never kick us out. Listen, make sure you don't give in when negotiating with these officials. Officials are surprisingly tough, but unlike private citizens, they're not allowed to end the discussion on their own. So when you feel like you can't get anywhere by continuing the discussion, don't give in. You have to dig deep and make sure they listen to everything you have to say. How do you know all this, Michan? Hehehehe. Who do you think I am? I represent Oiryu Sonozaki, member of the Mayoral Society Gathering and Local Government Monitoring Committee. I speak to government officials all the time. Hey, Mion. Is it possible to save her using the influence of the Sonozaki family? Well, not if I have to go through Granny. Ugh. It's impossible to get help from her. Her mind is still stuck in the dam conflict. 100 million with one spirit and stuff like that. She hates the Hojo family to this day. You're talking about Satoko's parents who were for the dam project? I've never met your grandma, but she needs to learn how to forgive. It's a thing of the past now. Exactly. I agree with you, Kei-chan. So the Sonozaki family can't do anything about it? Yeah, we can't. I'm sorry, old people are so stubborn. They cherish Rika-chan, but they don't care about Satoko. That's horrible. I can't forgive Satoko's uncle for aggressively abusing her, but I'm not about to forgive other people for quietly abusing her either. And see, that's the thing, is, by not being liked by the entire town, yeah. Tell those people not to piss on Keiichi Maribara. I'll do that. Shall we go now? We have no time to waste. All right, we'd better hurry. Let's get going. Do you want to come with us, Rika-chan? Let's go. Rena spoke to Rika-chan, who had been avoiding all conversation. She seemed to have given up all hope yesterday. It was so painful to see her so depressed. It's just a waste of time anyway. You have to stop saying anyway. You don't know if it's a waste of time or not unless we try. You people did everything you could in your previous lives. But you never found a way to save her. You think this time will be different? Sometimes I really have no idea what she's saying. All I could tell was she was being negative about the situation. Have you tried going to the Child Consultation Center already? Then we should try. Satoko-chan is. Then we should try. Satoko-chan is important to you, isn't she? We have to try and see what happens. I'm sure Satoko-chan needs your help right now. This world is going to end soon anyway. What's wrong? We have to hurry up. Rika-chama doesn't seem to be interested. So much for friends. She's so close to so close to Satoko, but she won't even get off her butt to save her. Oh, they're using the same expression. I never thought I'd hear you say something like that. You used to hate her so much. Hehe. What? Is your brain working all right? Why would I hate Satoko? Never mind. Fine, I'll come with you people. I have nothing to do at home, but drink until I pass out anyway. You're pissing me off. Are you trying to make a fool out of me? Stop it, Chi-chan. You stop it too, Rika-chan. Let's get together and save Satoko-chan. I'm sure we can make a miracle happen if we work together. But we need everyone to come together. We can't leave one of us behind. We need you too, Rika-chan. Something that Rena said must have given Rika-chan motivation. I could see a slight sparkle in her eyes. Rena had said something interesting. She said that we could make a miracle happen. It's true, the same thing. It's the same thing I said when this world began. At that time, I could only make a miracle happen, but I didn't say how. Rena just clearly stated that. We can make a miracle happen if we work together. Yes. Hi, Phoenix! Miracles can happen if we work together. Bugs for you too! And what if there is no miracle? That means we haven't tried hard enough. If we all do our best, we can. If we all do our best, we can. A miracle will happen for sure. That's true. Ryuga-sensei is right. Or, San is right. People get stronger when they help each other. You can overcome any obstacle when everyone works together. Yep. Hinamizawa was fated to be submerged underwater. Yesterday was fun. I was able to get the normal and true ending of The Witch's House, and then I started Mad Father. So good progress was made. I could not believe that it was just, you have to tear down the painting to be able to progress. That confused me forever. But 2,000 people got together and brought an end to that destiny. Bring an end to destiny? I know, it was like, I thought you could get out of the rooms, but no! As villagers of Hinamizawa, we all know that miracles do happen. We'll win if we work hard together. I think you have no choice but to come with us now, Rika-chama. If you don't come, a miracle won't occur. Your absence will prevent it from happening. So it's going to be my fault? That's interesting. A miracle is something that we can make happen. But we need everyone's power to make that come true. Destiny can be defeated. Fate can be escaped from. We're gonna go into the ad break screen real quick. And I'm gonna take a sip. I hope you are too. I hope everybody's having a good day so far. I'll take another sip. And there we go. Welcome back. Destiny can be defeated. Fate can be escaped from. This can happen when this can happen with a miracle. Oh, that's good. Well, not about the neighbor drama, but everything else. A miracle can happen if we unite. Rena told me yesterday. You'll never come up with a solution if you think about everything by yourself. We have to talk this out together. Don't let fate get the better of you. It's as fragile and as thin as a sheet of paper. Yes, gotta do the health checking. How can he say that without knowing how stubborn fate can be? To me, a witch trapped within fate. But for some reason, those words sounded very persuasive. He easily changed my fate to play the fishing game. In my previous life, Keiichi saved Rena from her devastating fate. As fragile and as thin as a piece of paper? His saying that the world I've been struggling in for 100 years is that easy to change? Keiichi has made a fool out of me. Interesting. I'll go with you. That's more like you, Rika-chan. Oh, Mika, are you sure? Hanyu looked at me with concern. Aww, good quality kitten time. She wanted to warn me that I'll get hurt if I expect too much. I don't have any coins left to bet. I don't have anything to lose. This world is ending soon anyway. But it was the same in my previous life. I thought all was lost when Rena took over the school. But Keiichi turned everything around. He's saying that fate is as fragile as a thin sheet of paper. I've been giving up on this world anyway, but I'm interested. Fate will betray you anyway. I'll get hurt as I see it happen to you. Don't worry, I'm not gonna get depressed anymore. I have no tears left to shed. I know that they can't save Satoko no matter what happens. That's why I'm doing this. It's the first time we've ever gone to the Child Consultation Center. Keiichi can't make any miracle happen. Keiichi can't make any miracles happen. Hanyu spoke to me in a stern voice. Miracles are called miracles because they don't happen easily. If it can happen at any time, it's not a miracle. It's just something that was meant to be. I'm not expecting anything. I'm just interested. Aw, that's super cute. I'm curious how Keiichi is going to make his move after seeing how easily he can change fate. I am glad you have been chosen by the kitten. Mika! Shadow-kun! Hi! What were you doing? And thank you for the follow, Sally Acorn21! What the— Hi! Welcome in! What are you all— Y'all are gonna hit my follower goal! Thank you all so much! Wow! I'm assuming y'all were doing some fun stuff. What were you doing? Sonic Racing! Oh my goodness, how was Sonic Racing? Oh my goodness, thank you all so much for the follows! Actually, let's do a little scoot. Wow, you guys made me hit my follower goal. Thank you so much. Here, let me actually properly shout out Shadow. Y'all are lovely. Thank you so much for the double rates. I'm playing Higurashi Arc 7, and it is very spoiler-tastic, and you broke the game? You! So yeah, if you, don't like kind of twisty psychological horror visual novel? Aw, well thank you so much, Shadow, I really appreciate that. Your menu overlap— oh no, you broke it! You did break it! But I hope you had some good races, and if you need to take care of yourself, go ahead and do that. And thank you both so much for the raids, and for all the follows. Wow. I hope you enjoy your time, and if you decide that I'm not meant for you, no pressure. But, so basically what I'm doing is I am reading through the dialogue of Higurashi, and we're on Arc 7 out of 8. And it's a horror visual novel. So, and this one is centering around, one of the characters is going through some child abuse, so just be aware of the content, warnings. You really did break it. Good job. But then again, it wouldn't necessarily be a Sonic game without some level of breakage. Mika, please don't hurt yourself anymore. That's none of your business. Get out of here. I wasn't expecting anything. I was just trying to enjoy my last week alive, like watching a TV show. But I had to admit I was possessed by a strange feeling. It was a little bit exhilarating. I was nervous, as if anticipating something. I had felt the same way when Keiichi remembered the memories from the past in my previous life. I didn't have any coins left to make a bet. But I knew that what this feeling meant. If I had a coin left in my heart, I would bet everything on this feeling. If it doesn't work out, even after trying every option, we'll have no choice but to give up. There's no need for us to give up. Satoko is going to be saved. We'd better be preparing a clean blanket for Satoko. You take care too. It's always lovely to see you. She's coming back to you soon. And I'd feel bad for her if she didn't have a soft bed waiting for her. I like that, Keiichi. Well then, let's go. No worries. I gotta stop waving to people when they can't see me wave. You might tear apart a fate like that. Thin sheet of paper, after all. Words. Yeah, right now I feel like could take on the ruler of hell. I'm going to make them change their decision. I stood up from my seat. Keiichi is a very good speaker. That's why I never got bored with him. I've been with him for 100 years, but he still keeps me entertained. We're going to the Child Consultation Center now. Do you want to come with us, Chie-sensei? I'm going to talk to the Board of Education. They're under the same branch of government as the Child Consultation Center. It might help if I talk to them. After all, I'm working for the public too. That's true. They might listen to what you say. Let's have her take care of that while we take care of our business. Let's fight them. All right. Let's go, everybody. Yeah. Even knowing that everything is doomed, part of me felt like something good might happen. Hanyu told me that it was only a waste of time. I felt the same way until a few minutes ago. But I had become much, much more interested. I had no idea what would happen. I wanted to see how Keiichi was planning to defeat this destiny. I raised my fist in the air along with them and hurried to the exit. As for Satoko, she didn't come to school again today. Teppei called the school and told them that she still had a fever. He said he was going to keep her home for a few days until she got better. Chie said she thinks Teppei knows she called the Child Consultation Center. He must be worried that Satoko will rat him out if he lets her go to school. I don't want to think about it, but it's possible that Satoko had visible bruises by now. That could be why he wouldn't let her go to school. Everything was happening much earlier. Satoko's situation was worsening earlier than it did in my previous lives. How long are they going to make us wait? Those people seem to be free. They should let us talk to them. Those are just general office workers. We have to talk to the actual social worker responsible for the case. I wonder if they're busy because they have a lot of cases like this. I don't know. I wish they didn't have so many issues to deal with. This world is tragic. So many kids are being abused. After 30 minutes, they finally called my name. I wrote down my name at the registration as Mion can't let them know she's from the Sonozaki family. I'm Mayabara, my name was called. I went to the receptionist to find the uniformed older lady. She must have been one of the office workers Mion mentioned. Was she really going to be the one dealing with us? Hello, Mayabara-san. I see you're here with 4 other friends. How can I help you today? The only thing I wrote on the registration was that I wanted to talk about Satoko Hojo. Well, we're here to talk about Satoko Hojo's case. Chie-sensei from the Hinamazawa branch school called to make the report yesterday. We would like to discuss the case. Are you her friends? Yes. Or her classmates? Would you please give me a general summary of what you wish to discuss? I heard you guys put it on hold because you determined that there wasn't any abuse happening. So we've come here today in order to explain Satoko's situation in more detail. I see. Please wait a few more minutes. That was it from her then. A real social worker would be talking to us soon. She was just asking us for basic information. With that done, she was talking on the phone and explaining to someone what I just told her. What did she ask? She asked me why I was here. She told me to wait for a few more minutes. I hate waiting like this. Are those posters and advertisements you've been reading that interesting me? I see a lot of flyers about abuse. I guess we came to the right place. Report the abuse before it escalates. Check out that slogan. Check it out. Here's a bunch of posters with slogan like that in here. I guess that's what the Child Consultation Center is for. Is it any help it's inside the building, though? Rika-chan was right. They should be posting them all over the city, not just inside the building. Which is interesting, because apparently the author did actually work for child welfare services. So he is speaking from some experience here. Mayabara-sama, thank you for waiting. Please go to room number 2. Our turn now. Let's go. As we walked, we saw rooms numbered 1 through 3. I thought we were going to be talking at the counter like you do at the bank. But they have individual rooms. I guess it's for privacy reasons. Most of the people who come here don't want other people listening to their conversation. But I think abuse might be increasing because people try to keep the issues quiet. People tend to not talk about their family issues. Especially not in Japan! Room number 2! It's this one. As I knocked, I heard the voice of a lady telling me to come in. Hello. It was a very small room. Well, I should say it was narrow. It wasn't wide, but it was very long. There was a counter in the middle, which split the room in 2. The lady was sitting on the other side of the counter. She told us to take a seat, but there were only 2 chairs. I sat down since we were registered under my name. No problem. Thank you so much for the raid. It's lovely to meet you. Have a good rest of your evening. I'm assuming evening. Mion wouldn't sit because she felt the Sonozaki sister shouldn't be in the front. Rana tried to offer her seat to Rika-chan, but she refused, so Rana ended up taking it. It was such a tiny room that it was better for us to take a seat. It was very cramped with the 5 of us. I'm sorry. We usually expect to see the parents, so we only have 2 chairs. I understood that. So, how may I help you today? Should I do the talking? Well, we're students from the Hinamazawa branch school, and we're Satoko Hojo's friends. The school reported she was being abused to the Child Consultation Center, and I believe that the social worker went to her house last night. We heard that you put the case on hold, and we're here today so we can explain how urgent this matter is. Mion nodded. Seemed like I was doing okay so far. What are you trying to explain to us? Will you please tell me? Well, I know it's only been 2 days since her uncle took her away, but it's only a matter of time before he starts hurting her. In fact, Satoko suffered terrible abuse at the hands of her uncle last year as well. We believe it's only a matter of time before this happens again. So, we would like for you to save Satoko from her uncle before it does. But from what we understand, the Child Consultation Center has decided to wait and see, right? Are you going to neglect her? I can't believe that you left her there just because she's not getting physically abused. Shion, calm down. Who's going to be responsible when she really gets hurt? Shion probably didn't like how politely I was speaking to her. She was already flaring with rage at the social worker. Looked like Mion didn't want her to tear into her. However, she let Shion finish, as she'd get even more furious if we tried to stop her. The lady seemed to be used to people losing their temper, and she continued without reacting to Shion's outburst. Yeah, in that field, you have to be very emotionally neutral a lot of the time. I would like to make it clear that we're still working on her case. The results are still pending. We're not abandoning or neglecting her. Working on her case. They're not abandoning her. They're currently reviewing options, I suppose. While their mature phrasing made me start to think it might be rude to harsh to say this, they were abandoning her. Rena quietly opened her mouth. But you left her there without doing anything last night. No one can ever fool Rena. Taking their time to review the option was the exact same thing as abandoning her. Fact is, they left her in that house without taking any actions to prevent her from being abused. We sent a social worker to her house and they met with her guardian. We cannot talk about the case any further for privacy reasons. However, we are not neglecting her. We are going to look after her and her father so they can have a healthy life together. He's not her father. He's her uncle. Are you sure you really did an investigation? Excuse me. You're correct. They're uncle and niece. Anyway, we'll be directing them so guardian and child can form a healthy relationship. Shion had pounced on her mistake immediately. I didn't think she needed to be so snappy, but at this point, I was starting to understand how different their sense of urgency was from ours. Well, excuse me, but Satoko was living a happy life before, without any support from her uncle. First of all, her uncle disappeared from her life a full year prior, and now he's returned and kidnapped her away. Isn't that a crime? It wasn't a kidnapping. It's the law that a child must live where their guardian appoints them to live. According to Article 821 of the Constitution of Legal Guardian of a Child is... He neglected Satoko for 1 year. How can he still be considered her guardian? Shion, that's what the court decided when her parents died, of course. Of the curse of Oyashiro-sama. Are you serious? That guy is her legal guardian? Yes. I don't know the specific article of law it's written in, but minors must abide by their guardians. In other words, every child has a guardian. They have to have one. That's Article 818 of the Civil Code. When Satoko's parents died, her uncle and aunt automatically became her guardians. Yes, their closest relatives gets custody, and that's how you can get some problems. It seems her aunt and uncle were Satoko's only living relatives. And then her aunt died. If Satoko and Satoshi refused them, they could have had a different guardian, though. They were the children of the Hojo family, the enemy of the dam conflict. No one was going to take care of them. They were different from Rika-chama. Lots of people wanted to be her guardian, but Father Kimiyoshi got custody of her. I knew that the Hojo family was in favor of the dam project, and the whole village hated her for that reason. But I thought everything was over after they canceled the project and Satoko's parents died. Was I aware of the difference? The difference between how the villagers treat Satoko and how they treat Rika-chan? The villagers don't abuse Satoko like her uncle. But maybe there was small thorns left in the village, and they were stinging Satoko occasionally. Yup. I can't say this too openly, but Satoko's family had more assets than her uncle's. And by becoming her guardians, they gained control over those assets. That's why they shamelessly took over Satoko's home. Do you know where they used to live? It was that ridiculously tiny place. That's horrible. But the guardian neglected Satoko-chan for over a year, right? Can he still claim custody of her? Can he? Well, in part, Roman numerals 4, Chapter 4 of the Civil Code, there are provisions for the loss of custody. The lady opened a thick book on the counter and showed us that page. Didn't completely understand what it said there, but it seemed that the parent can lose custody when they're being irresponsible. So the law can take away the right to be someone's guardian. Wait a minute, it says something about court. Let me see. At the behest of the child's relatives or a public prosecutor, the family court may make a ruling for the loss of parental authority. What the heck is this? So we have to sit there and wait for a family court ruling before he can lose custody? That's too slow! Well, if something urgent happens, we can temporarily protect her under our custody. We will also need the approval of family court in that case. Here, Article 834 for the loss of parental authority. Doesn't this apply to Tepe Hojo? It's the fact that the guardian, Tepe Hojo, abandoned his responsibilities as guardian for over a year. What is the center's opinion on that? I can't answer for privacy reasons, but the center requested an explanation on that matter as well. And you accepted his explanation, so you decided to wait and see? Like I've mentioned, we are currently working on this case. The safety of the child is our #1 priority, and we will make sure that she will have a healthy lifestyle in a safe environment. We weren't on the same page at all. They were just weren't understanding the urgency. I've never met this Tepe guy. I only know about the situation based on what my friends told me about last year and what Chie-sensei told us. But I still understood very well. I understood that something really bad was going to happen if we didn't take action right now. She was being abused by her uncle and her aunt last year, too. Are you sure that that same uncle can take care of her? You still have the records from last year, don't you? I can't discuss her past record for privacy reasons, but we are taking everything into consideration. She didn't come to school yesterday, and she didn't come in today either. He called the school and told them she had a cold, but do you think it's a bit odd that she hasn't come to school since he showed up? That's true, but then she really might be sick. I think we should keep an eye on her and see what happens. We just know that Satoko doesn't want to be with her uncle. Her uncle is forcing her to stay with him. Our social worker spoke with the child and made the decision after doing so. So that's it, isn't it? Are you not taking this case seriously because she made a false report long ago? I cannot talk about that for privacy reasons. We're taking everything into consideration. Oh man, she's got a script. Satoko is telling you that she's not being abused because she feels guilty about her brother Satoshi. She may have told you that she's not being abused, but I didn't believe that statement. Do you know that people can lose the will and seek help when they have depression? Oh, stop making excuses and hurry up and save Satoko. I'm not going to forgive you people if something happens to her. You'll end up hurt if you don't do something about this while I'm still asking politely. Shion, no! Stop it, Shion! You're making us look bad! I don't know what her uncle said to the social worker, but he's a violent guy. Please don't be fooled by him. I just wanted to make that clear. So please, speak with her social worker and persuade them to make a call to save Satoko at once. We ask that you do this for us. Some of us were getting emotional, but Mion calmed them down, and Rena summed it up nicely. I stopped speaking to see what she was going to say next. You mean her caseworker? I understand your concerns. I will tell them that Satoko-san's friends, 3, 4, 5 of her friends came here and made an appeal to us. We will continue to work closely on this case, so please let us know when you have further information. Thank you for supporting the Child Consultation Center. And thank you very much for sharing your valuable time with us today. We were still in Okonomiya. We were in the city park, devoid of playing children, staring up vacantly at the madder red sky in silence. I feel like they didn't really listen to our story. But they also didn't try to kick us out. She's probably just a person who deals with the complaints and not the actual social worker that deals with Satoko-chan. That's why she was phrasing everything the way she did. What do you think about the whole thing, Mion? Well, I felt like we were wrestling with a tree. We didn't get pushed or pulled. It was the same as talking to a wall. That's not true. She said they will forward our information to the social worker. Like I said, she doesn't know Satoko-chan in person, so she didn't really have any stake in it herself. So you think we accomplished something today, Rena? I don't think it was a waste of time. But I don't think our passion will be understood by the actual person who's working on the case. She'll just tell them that Satoko Hojo's 5 friends came and requested them to take her under their custody. What about the social worker? Can't we talk to that person directly? I don't know. I heard it's a very tough job. I think it'd be difficult for us to meet him or her in person. Oh, ad time. I still can't believe you all made me hit my follower goal. Thank you so much. Okay, ad should be done, so let us continue. Someone even threatened to hurt them if they didn't do anything while she was still asking them politely. According to Mion, there were lots of problematic clients who show up at the Child Consultation Center. Yeah. It's not a rare thing for them to get an aggressive visitor like Shion. So difficult to tell them how passionate we are. They might treat us coldly if they took our passion for simple anger. I thought you were used to talking with government officials, Mion. Can't you talk to them instead of me? It's not that she's good at talking. They just listen to her because she's Mion Sonozaki. You saw how they treated us today. If she announced herself as a Sonozaki, we wouldn't have been in such a small room. We would have been speaking to the manager in a reception room. Oh no, they have the power of a Karen. Right? Mion gave a vague smile and didn't comment. Mion's greatest weapon was her family name. Without that weapon, she was just as ordinary as the rest of us. I shouldn't be thinking about this. But if the Sonozaki family forgave Satoka's family, it would be really easy for them to save her. So the Sonozaki family still hates the Hojo family? No one has publicly stated that we hate them. But it runs pretty deep. The Hagrid grandmother is the one who hates the Hojo family. Her opinion hasn't changed since we were in the middle of the dam conflict. It's been so many years, but she still can't let go of the past. Stop it, Chi-chan. Satoko-chan is Satoko-chan. She's our precious friend. Doesn't matter what her last name is. Shion went quiet, and there was a silence for a while. Rana was right. Just like how Satoko's last name doesn't matter, it doesn't matter what Mion's last name is either. The important thing is that our friend is being abused right now. We'd have to do everything we can to save her from that situation. We all look up at the sky and listen to the sound of the cars passing by. We all felt hopeless. We had no idea what to do. Was what we did today going to help Satoko at all? Would have been better if they just kicked us out. That way we could have been angry with them. But after being treated politely like that, we had no choice but to back off and see what they were going to do. We were focused to just... Forced is the word. Forced to wait and see what happens. Yeah. Everyone was trying to figure out what our next option was. I couldn't expect Chie-sensei to tell us that everything was taken care of at the Board of Education. That would be too good to be true. What shall we do next? I muttered to myself, hoping that someone would respond with a good idea, but the silence reminded me that everyone was just as stuck as me. Keiichi, Rika-chan, I'm sorry. I was running my mouth off, but I have no idea what to do now. I don't believe this. What? As I look at her, I realize that expression on her face was stronger than ever. You told Shion yesterday. You didn't have a good idea at that moment. You said you would figure something out. You told her to trust you. So I trusted you. I'm not going to believe it. I'm not going to believe that you would even mention that you had no idea. I'm not going to believe that. I could see tears in her eyes. Rika-chan was sure that I could do something about the situation. You said it. You said that fate is as fragile as a thin piece of paper. I'm going to believe your words. I still believe you. Because you can easily defeat fate. So, please help. Help us escape from this fate. Help Satoko. Help her. As tears welled down from the corner of her eye, my heart was feeling the same way. Damn it, damn it, damn it! An innocent girl was becoming a prisoner of a tragic fate. She desperately needed help. I told them that they could trust me. In other words, that they could count on me. That they would bet on me. Betting is not an easy thing. If I lost, they'd lose their coins too. What does it mean to trust someone? It's about making a bet on that person. It's about betting a coin. It's about betting hope. Trusting someone is tantamount to placing your hopes in them. I told Shion yesterday. I told her to trust me. I didn't say it just because. I knew that those words meant something very serious. But now, after betraying Rika-chan and seeing her tears, I finally realized just how serious it is. It's Shion. She was in a rage again. Mion tried to calm her down, but she didn't have any idea that either. How about Rena? She's always very reliable in a situation like this. I expected to see her strength. However, Rena also looked depressed. I'm sensing maybe a smidge of sarcasm in that remark, but I hope it still went well. However, Rena also looked depressed. I didn't even know what we did was what we did was a meaningful thing. Rena looked down with a devastated expression on her face, since she couldn't come up with another option either. Damn it, I have to do something for them. Rena's blue fire will melt iron. Mion can be strong when the wind is in our favor. Shion is the same way. They will move forward strongly when the wind is backing them up, but they grow weak when the wind is blowing against them. Despite the whole situation. Okay, good. It was actually worth it. Good. Despite the whole situation, Rika-chan still believes in us. She believes we can do something if we all come together. That's right, we all agreed. We said to each other that we could make a miracle happen if we all worked together. What am I? If Rena is a blue fire, then I'm the red fire. I burn brightly and give strength to everyone. That's right, I'm Keiichi Maebara. I'm the magician of words. I have to motivate everyone. Ooh, very nice. Good for you. Blue fire won't light up unless the red fire does too. When the fire is lit, there will be wind. Mion and Shion will become stronger too. Thank you. You just made me realize something, Rika-chan. Now the flames inside me are really starting to ablaze. Keiichi. We can't give up now. We're members of the strongest club ever. Yeah, that's not bad at all. Good for you. Nothing can stop us when we work together. Can't become depressed over a small thing like this. Rika-chan woke me up. I just realized how serious it is we have to have people trust in me. Rika-chan knew her personalities well, and she figured out just who she should motivate first. Wow, I'm really starting to burn up. Hey, Mion, stop being depressed. This is where we're supposed to get angry, man. Everyone looked at me wide-eyed as they turned at my powerful voice. They were both surprised by my sudden shout, and waiting in anticipation at the vigor of my call. More and more clearly I could see it. This was Keiichi Mairobara's role in the club. I don't think we did anything at the Child Consultation Center. Just like Rena was saying, they're just going to forward a small note saying that the 5 of us made a visitation. But being treated like that has lit a fire in all of our anger. You're right, it feels like they gave us a cold shoulder. Hey, that's still good. That's still half of it. That is not bad at all. Good. We were trying to get them to realize how much danger Satoko is in. We have to fight now. We have no time to be sitting all depressed in the park. But Keiichi-kun, what are we supposed to do next? Hehehe. Don't tell me you think we have no more options left. If this was a club activity, you guys would be losing right now. Hehehe. This is fun. I was feeling depressed too, but now I got a burning passion in my heart. I feel like I was cheering myself up. Why was I being sad? If I wanted to save Satoko, I had no time to rest. This was like the final seconds of the last round of a boxing match where we were at the disadvantage. If I stand here stupefied, I'll be lost by indecision, so the only option is to press and attack. Was I supposed to give up just because I couldn't knock the opponent out with one punch? No! If I couldn't take him out, I'd just have to throw 2 or 3 punches. I'd have to try until I finally knocked him out. You're saying that we're going to go there tomorrow? Close, but not exactly. I have no idea what's on your mind. But it sounds very interesting. It isn't like our club to cry ourselves to sleep. We need to turn this headwind around. Yes, Mion is getting your willpower back too. That's right, I agree with Keiichi-kun. I'm ashamed that I was so depressed. Let's fight. What exactly are you trying to do? Remember, everyone, that lady really pissed us off today, but she also told us what our next option is. She never thought she was giving us a hint. She made a huge mistake. On top of that, the next option is something that I'm really good at. Receptionist notebook. Bank book frustration. Let's read those tips. Aw, that's cute, the 2 flames. You all not all tips. For the fight, wet blanket, receptionist note. Bank book for receptionist note. Date, number, date, year. Subject, about Satoko Hojo-san. Visitor, Keiichi Mairobara and 4 other friends. They are requesting protection for Satoko Hojo-san to save her from being abused by her uncle. Already being dealt with? I'm clearing out the refrigerator, so please remove your personal belongings by this evening. Teppei suspected that Satoko was hiding more money somewhere. But in reality, she had none at all. Teppei had asked her how she survived until now. But she told him that she didn't have to use any money because she was living with her friend. Teppei had made some money off illegal gambling. Well, he had some money saved up. He had no intention of using it on living expenses, because of course! However, there was no way Satoko didn't have the money. Teppei was convinced of that. Teppei's wife, Satoko's aunt, must have taken away the family bank book when Satoko's parents died in the accident. But her aunt also died last year, and Satoshi is gone too. That means Satoko should have hidden the bank book somewhere. However, no matter how much he threatened her, she told him that she didn't know anything about it. He continued to question Satoko, still believing that she was hiding it somewhere. He couldn't beat it out of her, because her teacher and the Child Consultation Center would suspect him. So he wouldn't beat her. Instead, he spoke to her in a loud and violent voice and broke furniture in front of her. Threatening people like that is Teppei's forte. However, Satoko continued to claim that she had no clue about the bank book. She didn't seem to be lying. After destroying the whole living room, leaving Satoko frightened like a scared little animal, Teppei finally believes that Satoko had no idea where the bank book was. Yet why would she be responsible for the finances? In that case, where could it be? Teppei had two ideas. One idea was that his wife hid it somewhere in secret. The other idea was that Satoko took it after his wife's death and hid it somewhere else. Either way, he was certain that it was hidden somewhere in this house. He told Satoko to clean up the mess he made in the living room and started searching around the house. Teppei was starting to get bored with Satoko. He'd heard that Satoko's parents had a lot of money saved up, but his wife had taken control of that money herself. Since his wife had been quite thrifty, he was sure that she left the bank book somewhere without using it. Once he got his hands on that money, he could move somewhere else entirely. Teppei was still acquainted with a few people from the gambling spot in Gogura. People he used to help out are still hanging around that area. They still owe him. I should at least let him crash there. It was great that Satoko takes care of all the chores around the house, but Teppei felt uncomfortable about being watched by both the school and the consultation center. It's like you are the problem, my guy! Teppei, all too aware that he's a man of violence, couldn't stand living with Satoko without being violent toward her. The more he suffered, the stronger the urge to beat up Satoko grew. Since Teppei only knew the joy of forcing others who resisted to submit, testing to see how violent he could be before the helpless Satoko resisted him was something he was excited to try eventually. Still upset over the visitation by the school teacher, Teppei promised himself that he would destroy Satoko's life before leaving the village. Now we'll save. And chapter 6. Load it. Yes, there is a difference. Thank you very much. Continue. We'll see where I am at the end of chapter 7? I think I'm on 7? Sorry to interrupt your lunch, but can I have your attention, please? My classmates looked at me with surprise. I stood up at the front of the room and banged on the blackboards. I needed to get their attention. You can listen while you eat. I want to talk about our classmate, Satoko Hojo. Everyone went quiet as soon as I brought up her name. They all knew how bad the situation Satoko was in. Remembering what happened to her last year, they understood how critical it was that she get help as soon as possible. Everyone was thinking they wanted to save Satoko if they could, but they hadn't done anything because they didn't know what they could do alone. I don't think there's a need for me to explain what's going on with her. As you all know, Satoko's been absent for 3 days in a row. It's been 3 days since she got kidnapped by her uncle. He called the school and told them she still had a cold, but I don't believe that. She hasn't even visited the clinic in these past 3 days. My classmates think about this logically for a moment. If she's really that sick, wouldn't he not take her to the clinic for 3 whole days? It's hard to believe that she's been sick for that long, yeah. She might have the flu. But if that's the case, she should be seeing a doctor. The whole class agreed that it was a bit strange. Everyone had been thinking the same thing inside their hearts. However, no one really came forward and talked about it. This was a good start. Just think about it, Satoko is the healthiest girl in this village. She wouldn't even get sick after eating food that's past the expiry date. But now she's somehow got sick all of a sudden and missed school for 3 days? That's hard to believe, isn't it? The answer is simple. Her uncle is forcing her to stay home. We reported this case to the Child Consultation Center. However, they're putting it on hold. We went there, But they told us that they can't talk about it due to privacy reasons. What do you guys think about all this? I think it's wrong. We all know that her aunt and uncle were treating her the way her aunt and uncle were treating her last year. Besides, Satoko-chan was living happily with Rika-chan. It's wrong for him to force her to move there and keep her away from us. The sight of Rena letting her emotions speak for her, when she's normally so quiet, demonstrated most of all how dire the situation was. Rena brought an intensity to this that I couldn't, since I often yelled and shouted about things. Are we just going to leave the things as they are? Satoko is our friend. She's our classmate. We spent time together in this small classroom, and we're like family to each other. We learned together and played together, we ate together, and we fought each other at times. We've spent so much time together that our relationship is as tight as a family's. Should we neglect someone that's that precious to us? Raise your hand if you want to neglect her. I'm sure none of us wanted to do that. No way. We must help Satoko. Mutter, 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 mutter. The class was filled with commotion, which is exactly what I was looking for. The louder I talked, the louder my classmates got. They were getting all fired up. The more I let my true colors show, the greater everyone's emotions became as well. Our club is already making the move. We're trying to figure out how we can save her. Did you know that, Tomita-kun? No, I did not. Let me tell you what our plan is. Don't worry, it's not something illegal. For once, we are trying to fight, but without breaking the rules. In truth, nothing is more effective in society than taking an orthodox stand. Playing underhanded and striking by surprise may seem like it's more effective, but that's as insignificant as Jack in the Box. A real orthodox attack can punch through anything. Debatable, but you know what? I'll walk with you to this pier. Yeah, I've heard that even in a karate straightforward punch can deliver the greatest impact. When you think about the physics a bit, it's only natural a straightforward, simple, head-on strike would hold the most power. We're already doing the same thing by saving Satoko. Therefore, there's no need for us to do anything underhanded to accomplish that. We need to fight openly. So who are we fighting against? That's a good question, Okamura-kun. This is a fight, true. However, we're not going to be violent with anyone. We're following the rules. This is the honest way to conduct a battle. Before we go any further, let me get back just now to how we're going to save Satoko. This is our current situation. Satoko is there. Her uncle is locking her up inside the house. Apparently, she had no obvious injuries as of yesterday, but we don't know for sure if she hasn't gotten hurt since. Besides preventing her from going to school is already child abuse. Check this out. This is a brochure that Mion brought from the Child Consultation Center. It's written clearly in here, keeping a child away from school is abuse. On top of that, her uncle left Satoko on her own for a year. That's considered neglect. Neglect also counts as abuse. However, the Child Consultation Center didn't even take that into consideration. They ignored the fact that he neglected her for a year, and they believe she hasn't come back to school because she's sick. They concluded that Satoko not being abused because there are no obvious injuries at this point. What do all of you think? My son, this is a blatant case of child abuse. Just because she doesn't have any injuries doesn't prove that she's not getting abused. I agree with him. How come they can't see it? It's so obvious. From what Mion's heard inside their office, 2 or 3 days isn't enough time to determine if abuse is taking place or not. Apparently, they can only recognize if it's abuse if it has continued over several months or several years. She says that they have to evaluate the situation very carefully. So what do you all think about that? Do you think keeping Satoko in that house for several months is a good idea? No way! No way! Exactly. Absolutely no way. The Child Consultation Center has no idea how much danger Satoko is facing right now. They don't know how terrible it was for her last year. That's why they're just putting her case on hold. What would you do, Tomita-kun? Sir, I think the issue here is that the Child Consultation Center isn't grasping the urgency of her situation. I think someone needs to go there and explain to them how serious this is. Right. It might be routine for them to wait and see what happens. But in Satoko-chan's case, that's not acceptable. Her uncle was abusing her last year, too. He was taking out his stress on her. After the death of her aunt, he left Satoko-chan all alone and disappeared somewhere for an entire year. You know what? We even have information that he disappeared because he tried to move in with his lover in Okonomiya. What was Satoko doing while he left her? She was fortunate because Rika-chan offered her a place to stay. But what if Rika-chan wasn't there for her? She'd have no choice but to try and survive on her own. Furthermore, we also know that he came back to Hinamazawa because his lover disappeared somewhere. In other words, she dumped him. He had no choice but to come back to Hinamazawa, and he forced Satoko to live with him again. Her neighbors have seen her doing the laundry, too. The reason he took Satoko with him is clear. He took her so she could work as his slave. How could anyone do something like that? Is there anyone in this class that would call such a rotten person a parent after he spent a full year playing around with his mistress only to come waltzing back and throwing his weight around? No, no way! Right, he's not her guardian. But the Child Consultation Center still calls him that. They claim that they'd gotten through family court in order to take away his parental rights. They'd have to go through. Who has the right to decide whether he's good enough for Satoko's guardian? It shouldn't be the court. It should be decided based on common sense. I can say this clearly. He is not Satoko's guardian. We need to make that clear to the Child Consultation Center. The Child Consultation Center is the only organization that can help Satoko before she's physically abused. Police won't move unless it develops into a criminal case. But do you think that we're going to wait until Satoko becomes a victim? We can't just sit around until that happens. That's why we're going to make our move now. We hit the Okonomiya Child Consultation Center yesterday. This is what they wrote down after we did. 5 classmates of Satoko Hojo made a visitation request for her protection. Do you know what that means? 5 classmates are not enough. We need your help. We need all of you. This is your chance to do something meaningful in your life. If you don't help us, you're not our friends. All you have to do is support me. I will do all the talking and our club members are going to do all the fighting. We just want you guys to support us. If that is not enough, feel free to join the fight. Let them know the spirit of the Hinamazawa branch school. Mayabara-kun, what's going on? Chie-sensei looked into the classroom, the commotion having attracted her attention. As soon as she tried to step inside the class, someone behind her stopped her. Principal! Miss Chie? I would like to have some tea. Would you make me a cup, please? It was a clear display of his intent not to disrupt Keiichi's speech. Are you sure? There are lots of young children in the class. If they all go to the Child Consultation Center, how can we explain it to their parents? Chie? Furude-san, what's going on here? Everyone is trying so hard for Satoko's sake. I can't do anything, so I need their help. But I can at least try to stop you from stopping them. Chie has never seen Rika staring at her with an expression like that. She was surprised to see Rika looking so determined. Why would you want to stop them? Principal, this is splendid, isn't it? They should do what they can. I will take responsibility for whatever happens. Principal pounded in his own chest. Chie-sensei couldn't object any longer. I understand. Please make sure no one gets hurt. You all must follow the rules and mind your manners. You have to promise me that. Thank you very much. I'm proud of you, Miss Chie. My students are teaching me many lessons. Yes, I've made my decision. My students are like my own children. And what mother wouldn't protect her own children? All right. Head back out as soon as you're home. As soon as you're home today, meet us at the Okonomiya Library. The Child Consultation Center is on the first floor. Yeah! Wait. Chie-sensei? Sensei, are you going to stop us? Certainly not. I truly understand your passion. I'm going to support you as long as you follow the rules. Yeah! I'm coming with you to make sure you behave yourselves. Is that okay? Yeah! Alright, alright. Here we go, here we go. We're all getting fired up. We headed for the library as soon as we got back home from school. I'd expect that a few kids wouldn't show up, but surprisingly everyone came along. I could just tell how driven they were. I was also encouraged to have Chie-sensei with us there. I had to admit I had been feeling a bit guilty for dragging everyone to the consultation center. But as long as Chie-sensei was with us, I didn't need to feel that guilt. Okay, ad break. I'm gonna refill my water real fast. Okay, let us continue. Minagoroshi-san, please come to the counter. Hello, I'm Maribara. How can we help you today? As I wrote on the registration form, we came to tell you about the danger Satoko Hojo is in. How many of you are here today? Are you all related to her? We're Satoko's classmates and her teacher. There are 27 of us. Well, our consultation room is not very large. Can we just ask for a few people to come in as representatives? Then shouldn't you prepare a bigger room? Like a meeting room? I believe you should arrange for a room for us, not asking us to adjust to yours. Or please just give us a moment. The receptionist seemed troubled. She told us to head back to our seats and started to make a phone call to someone. Good job, Renaissance. I consider myself a pro, and I even thought that the threat was perfectly timed. Oh, are you trying to compliment me? Rena is good at reading other people's minds. Sometimes she can use that talent against the enemy to intimidate them. A strange atmosphere permeated the office. It must have been the first time a whole class had visited on behalf of one child. It was as though we were here for a school trip. Well, hello. I'm Harayama, the manager of this center. Please take a seat. I'm sorry for bringing the whole class to your office. I'm Chie of the Hinamazawa branch school. We're here to talk with you today. They were treating us so differently now that we had 5 times as many kids plus 1 adult. Instead of that small consultation room, they took us to a big meeting hall. On top of that, the manager was there alongside the lady from yesterday. I will let Maibara-kun do the talking. Sensei sat down at the far end of the table. She was just here to look after us. Besides, like I'd said, we were the ones who were going to fight. It was fine of Chie since I just stayed there and watched us quietly. You have an adult in the room. I'm Keiichi Maibara. Nice to meet you. Well, I've heard that yesterday you visited us with 5 of your friends to present your valuable thoughts to us on Satoko Hojo's case. Are you here for a different matter today? I hadn't expected that they would start the conversation. What were they thinking? I don't like how ambiguous this feels. Feels like they're debating how to move, unsure if the fault lies with us or not. Kei-chan, you should clearly tell them why we came here and let them know that they're in the wrong. My friends are analyzing the situation behind me. Felt like I was having a meeting with the president of a foreign country. Actually, that wasn't far from the truth. I sort of was the prime minister. I was representing the whole class. I needed to be polite but stern. Alright, let's attack from this angle then. Kei-chan, tell them something like this. Got it? Mion gave me her attack plan. This is really how Mion operates best. If she's weak on the defense, then I can bear the brunt of the impudence. While Mion issues perfect orders from behind. I took my friend's analysis and advice in consideration and calmly opened my mouth. No, first let me confirm something with you. We've come here today to make sure that what we came to convey yesterday was properly conveyed to you. So I apologize if this seems rude, but could you please tell us how much you grasped from our conversation yesterday? Is it alright if that just means reading a memo aloud? It became quiet for a second. Might have only been a short time, but the silence felt much longer than that. I could see the manager's expression turning serious. He thought I was just dealing with a social studies class, but suddenly his response changed to that of one dealing with a protest group of local citizens. From my understanding, we acknowledge that you came here to appeal that Satoko Hojo is in an extreme situation, meriting temporary protection from our agency, and that we should expedite our response. I believe that our staff at the time explained that we are not taking her situation lightly, and are currently discussing the appropriate measures. So, taking into consideration the fact that Satoko Hojo was suffering abuse from her uncle at this time last year, you still believe an urgent response is unnecessary? Well, our organization has not confirmed the records that Teppei Hojo-san was administering abuse at that time last year. Mutter, 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 mutter. What? What the hell are you guys doing last year? She was being abused by both her aunt and her uncle. Please don't tell us that you were only aware about the abuse from her aunt. Normally, we don't talk about such private affairs, but under these special circumstances, I think it's acceptable to say. We are aware that there was trouble between Satoko-san and her aunt, Tamae-san. However, we have no record showing that her uncle was also involved in the abuse. In fact, when we interviewed her neighbor, several mentioned Tamae-san's slight hysterical tendencies, but none of them ever brought up the name of her uncle Teppei-san. We believe that it's simply because his abuse didn't stand out under the shadow of his aunt's especially vicious nature. We do not believe that that constitutes evidence that her uncle was not abusing her as well. I see, so you claim that there was a likelihood that Teppei-san also inflicted abuse on the child this time last year. The manager and the staff beside him jotted down with a pen as if to show that it was their first time hearing this information. This is why we came here today. We believe the Child Consultation Center doesn't have a proper understanding of her present situation. We believe you should be able to see how urgent this case is once you fully understand it. I see. We're taking that into consideration. Please allow us to do a more thorough investigation into Teppei-san. He mentioned this yesterday as well, but her uncle had abandoned his responsibilities as guardian for over a year. We received no response from this information yesterday, but what is your organization's opinion on this matter? Of course, our office is aware that Teppei-san was absent from his residence for a year, and we have interviewed him on that matter. So, what was his excuse? I mean, you can't talk about it for privacy reasons, but if it convinced all of you, it must have justified leaving her alone for a whole year, right? If you believe living with his mistress in Okonomiya is sufficient reason for abandoning his responsibilities for a full year, then we would like to receive that in writing. No. Is that what happened? He explained it to us that he was forced to work away from home in order to raise Satoko-san, so this is our first time hearing that. So, what the hell? They just believed in that crap? Is this your first time hearing that? And then you should already know Satoko's been absent from school for 3 days in a row now. Well, I contacted the school yesterday to say she had a cold. The only hospital in the village at the area clinic has no records of her being examined. What do you believe the proper response is for a guardian who refuses to take a child to the hospital when she's been bedridden with illness for 3 days in a row? Well, we confirmed that she was absent one day, but 3 days in a row is news to us as well. They are just really bad at this. However, our social worker met directly with Satoko-san and confirmed that the child in question denies the occurrence of abuse. When we asked if she wished to continue living with Tepe-san, she answered in the affirmative. So there's no abuse as long as she says so? That's one of the more difficult aspects. Whether the child herself feels she's suffering abuse or not is a very important factor. It's much like the definition of bullying. While the bully may not believe they are bullying, it's bullying if the recipient believes it is. So you can't do anything unless she admits that she's being abused and seeks your help herself? No, that's not quite how it works. Our organization investigates the child's environment, and we find any problems that might harm their lifestyle. We take appropriate actions to protect them. However, we don't believe Satoko-san's case reached that level of danger at present. No urgency at this point. That was exactly how the Child Consultation Center felt about Satoko's case. Our classmate who had been watching the discussion burst into an uproar. How can you say something like that? What makes you believe that she's not in danger? First of all, Satoko-san denies the abuse, and not only that, she has no visible injuries either. Also, she's being provided with shelter, food, and clothes. We can't say that Tepe is not taking responsibility as her guardian, so he's doing the bare minimum. Both of them seem to have no complaints about their current living arrangements. We believe that we do not need to further discuss Tepe-san's past, but unfortunately we also believe that you and your friends are overreacting to this situation. Overreacting? Calm down, Keiichi-kun. Let's not take it too personally. Damn it, why are they treating us like this? They think we're only acting this way based on what happened last year. I see. The Consultation Center is assuming that this year's case and last year's case are two separate issues. On top of that, Satoko was denying the abuse entirely. Tepe-san regrets the fact that he had to leave Satoko-san alone because he's having to work for her sake. He promised that he would stay with her from now on and raise her lovingly. Bang! I heard a loud noise. Someone had just pounded the table. Everyone, including the manager, was startled. I figured it must have been Shion, but it was Rena. Whoa, her face turned as furious as a demon's. It's best for a child to live with their parents. There are things you can only learn from the love of your family. We heard that Satoko-san was living with another minor for the past year and had not been living under any adult. This could greatly harm her future as a sensitive growing child. I'm sure that your friendship with her, you all believe she may be the happiest this way, but could you please give Satoko-san and Tepe-san the opportunity to restart their new life as uncle and niece and watch over them kindly? Weren't you listening to any of the things we said? You're saying that you're not going to help her unless Satoko asks for your help? How is she supposed to seek help if she's being locked inside her house? She can't even go outside to make a phone call. How can she seek help? We came here in her stead because she can't be here herself. But if you're not even willing to listen to us, that's not what we're trying to say. We will remember that over 20 of our classmates visited to talk about Satoko-san's case. We'll take what happened today into consideration, and we will make a further decision about her case. When are you going to make the decision? Can you guarantee us that Satoko-chan won't get hurt before that decision is made? If something happens to her, will you take responsibility? If she gets even a single bruise on her body, you're in huge trouble. Shion-san, that's enough. Please, tell us you will make that decision. That's right. How long is it going to take you? Like I said, we need to take the matter seriously and make a careful decision. In order to do so, we will continue to meet with the two of them and investigate so that her and her father, I mean her uncle, can have a better relationship. Please wait and see what happens for a while. We ask you to do so for her sake. So that's your response. You're saying that it isn't urgent, even though we came here to tell you that it is. I was starting to get lost in what we were trying to say, but Rena's words made me realize something. We came here to tell them that they need to protect her right away, but they clearly told us that they didn't see any reason to do so. We understand that there may be a reason for the urgency. We will take your opinion into consideration and make our decision. We hope that this will satisfy you. It won't. At first glance, it sounded like they were speaking humbly, but our insistence of the urgency to Satoko's situation was spinning their wheels. They had no intention of meeting us halfway. Right, they were officials. Plus, they have the authority that can change the life of an individual like Satoko. Considering that, being a little overcautious and carefully deliberating the matter wasn't the wrong response for them, and I would have understood that if it wasn't so personal. But in reality, Satoko had no time to spare. We could see that, because we understood everything. We knew how Satoko would reject me after I rubbed her head because of the horrible abuse she got from her uncle. That nightmare will come true in just a few days. In that nightmare, I knew that I should save her, but I just wasted my time. I wasn't going to make the same mistake. I had to make a move immediately. Mayabaru-kun, did you say everything you wanted to? Yes. That's it for today. Thank you very much for giving us the opportunity. Everybody please bow to them. Class President, will you take the lead? Thank you very much. No, thank you for your valuable opinions. Thank you, everyone. Be careful on your way home. We all came back to Hinamazawa together, and it was time for us to part. As the class president, Mion gave everyone the notice we were dismissed. However, everyone stuck around to talk about what happened today. We came back to Hinamazawa on our bikes, so we didn't really get to talk with each other. Now that we'd gotten off of them, we finally got to say what we wanted. This is the first time that everyone in the class has gotten together and fought for someone like this. It reminds me of the dam conflict. Everyone's feeling united. That's true. None of these kids participated in the conflict, even though they might remember it from when they were a baby. But what we did today was more polite than what we did with the dam conflict. No one is bleeding, and there are no bombs or riot police. Hooray! Unity is the best thing about Hinamazawa. That's true. This old man's blood is boiling for the first time in a while. Hehehe. The people in Hinamazawa all got together to fight against the dam project. Everyone working together as a team means a lot to the villagers here. If there's one person coming, 2 should throw rocks at him. If there's 2, 4 should do so. If there are 4, then 8. If there's 1,000, then the whole village should stand up and fight. What's that? A figure of speech? Something our grandma used to say. She was trying to tell the villagers to band together and fight. When there's one enemy, 2 should fight. 2 should fight together, and then when there were 1,000, the whole village should fight together. I see. She wanted the villagers to unite and defeat their enemies. It means more than that. Uniting to fight together is one thing, but it also means the whole village should unite and fight for the sake of an individual. It's the real meaning that everyone should share that individual's pain, sympathize with them, and fight for them too. Wow, that sounds very similar to what's happening right now. In other words, the battle that we're fighting right now represents Hinamazawa as a whole. I see. Everyone supported me, not just because they were impressed by my speech, but because of their nature to unite like that. The classmates were all still sticking around and discussing the issues surrounding Satoko. For some of them, this was like a return to the dam conflict, and also a big chance for those who never experienced it. It almost felt like a festival. Most of them thought that we didn't make much progress today, though. Maibara-san! So their conclusion is that we're not going to save Hojo-san, right? Their answer wasn't that bad, but you're right in the sense that they'll watch her suffer. I live close to him, so I know what kind of guy her uncle is. He's not normal. We figured out that the people at the Child Consultation Center don't understand anything. But we just can't give up after today either. Tomita-kun and Okamoto-kun seemed serious. They weren't just supporting me. They wanted to make a move themselves. We're going to have to work hard to save Hojo-san. Yeah, I agree. It's hard to believe that these are the same innocent kids who are always running around the school. I'm really happy to see them so motivated. Of course we are. Satoko is our friend. We're going to save her. So please lend us your support again. No, Maibara-san. This is our responsibility as classmates. We're not fighting because you're asking us to. We're doing this because we want to. I'm impressed to hear that from you, Tomita-kun. Shall we go there again tomorrow? I don't think we should take any days off. Consistency is important. I agree with Rena-san. But it's only going to end the same result if we go with the same people again. Today was more effective because we were there with more people. Then should we get even more people tomorrow, shall we? Rena turned back towards everyone as she spoke. We all understood what she was trying to say. Not all children from Hinamazawa go to Hinamazawa Branch School. Around half of them go to the school in Okonomiya. Those children are not our classmates, but they're still our friends from our neighborhood. Hinamazawa is a small village, after all. They know Satoko as well as we do, and they also know what's going on with her right now. Rumors spread at the speed of light in Hinamazawa. I can tell that by now everyone in the village knows about my embarrassing history undergoing punishments. I'll talk to Daisuke when I get home. I bet he'd come with us. I'll call my friends when I get back home too. The school in Okonomiya isn't that far from the library. That's a good idea. I'll try to get more people too. This is turning out well. I think we can get at least 10 more people on our side. I'll try reaching out to a few old members of the kids club too. I think I can get at least 3 of them to come with us. I'll ask my friends from his cram school too. But none of them know about Satoko or her situation. They're just friends of mine, so it'll only be about 4 people. Do you think it might be difficult to get other adults involved? Well, the people in the town council don't want to have anything to do with the Hojo family, because of what happened during the dam conflict. How about the older people? Can you get old people on the side, Rika-chan? Older people are bitter towards Satoko. People who believe in the curse of Oyashiro-sama really think that the Hojo family deserved what they got. So we can only get more children, but no adults. How many of us will there be? At this rate, we're going to say about 17 more children. I don't know if they will make it, but hopefully there can be more than 40 of us. 40 people? I'm impressed, Keiichi. You think 40 is enough, Rika-chan? What? I grinned and tapped Rika-chan's chest. It's not enough. 40 is not enough to knock out those stubborn people. You need at least 20 more. I'm sure 60 people would intimidate them. Where can we get that much help? Hehehe, you have no idea. My name is Keiichi Maibara. If I say I'm going to accomplish something, I will. So that's the whole story, Kameda-kun. We're going to launch our 3rd attack tomorrow evening. Will you help us? I don't want to reject your request, Kay. We ate that jumbo parfait together. That is our vow as sworn brothers. I want to help you, Kay. But tomorrow is not a good day. What? Why is that, Kamada? You can't lend a hand to this poor, innocent girl? Where's your pride as a 2-dimensional warrior? You deserve a beating. Clench those teeth. Ugh. Arg. Arg. Ugh. Wait a minute, Kei-san. Please listen to me. I would help her if it wasn't for tomorrow. Of course I'd have just schoolmates. Normally I'd be happy to even look... Okay, wow. But I just can't tomorrow. You bastard. Tell me, Kameda. I'll knock at least 3 of your teeth out, even if you can't make it because of your parents' funeral. I can't come tomorrow because... Tomorrow is the Desert Fiesta here at Angel... Dessert Fiesta here at Angel Mort! What? What did you say? Dessert Fiesta, Kei-chan? Or Kei-san? The Dessert Fiesta of Angel Mort. It gets bonus points for using the, hiragana for Fiesta. I actually won an admission ticket! I'm not going to invite anyone but you! Let's go pig out on all these sweet... cakes! Jojo'd! Ora! Ugh, yeah! Ugh, yeah! Please, Kei-san! I will help you the day after tomorrow! So please let me go to the fiesta tomorrow! Please, I'm begging you! Hey, Ichi-kun! I think you should let him go for tomorrow! No, I can't! I can't let him go! Kameda, you dared to weigh cakes against a real little girl? You only gain the right to eat cake when you can save that girl! For starters, you don't have any understanding of how good Satoko is. Listen, Satoko's charm is that which is... seems soon at first glance, but you set off her flags and she goes dere. She's a classic tsundere. You should understand the greatest appeal of a tsundere lies in the gap between her soon and dere. Normally, she's all soon, without an ounce of eroticism, but once you flip her switch, suddenly, she's dere. I hate that I know what all of this means. The gap between her on and off state is her charm. She's just like the first and last half of Higurashi's plot itself. In other words, Satoku's the true Miss Higurashi. Rena and Rika would like a word about that. On top of that, she added the spice to the little sister element, that's growing standard now, as well as bringing a... So, okay. I have no idea what that means. She's the new generation of heroine, with her grand descent into the world, overflowing romantically dependent heroines. You want to know how amazing her advent is? She is as incredible as a blonde princess alighting to open the field. But she's not a goddess. She does not go spouting upload, or pass, please. If you can understand her... Oh god, we're keeping going. If you can understand her appeal, then what are you? Where's your pride as a 2D warrior? What? Would you dare say you're moving to fake 3D now to increase the polygon count? You're a century too early. Our progenitors of this age where the heroines were displayed the 256-bit era with 8 colors that found love and moe their evolving emotion. None of that would escape the 2D world. It was evolution of love derived from their love of the real women, the statue of Venus, the Mona Lisa. All are the epitome of the progenitor's feelings. Boe, by the way, I think the girl with the fewest pixels was yep, young people nowadays probably can't even tell that she's a girl. By the way, the Princess of Dragon Buster was also amazing. Oh my goodness. Yes, we are 2D warriors in truth to brains of those walls of pixels and polygons seeking their true form. So how could you say that you would choose these pixels and polygons over a real live little girl that exists without even those walls between you? That proves that her... Oh god, we're still going! They're settled for half measures. 2D warriors do not deny 3D. They're the new generation of 3D warriors who love 3D. Oh god, anyway, all I want to say is this. Which console is going to get Resident Evil and Metal Gear? By the way, the new Dead or Alive is coming out too, right? I think our author is just... I'm sorry I was wrong. Oh god, can I breathe now? What was I thinking? What have I done? It's okay, Kameda. Mistakes are there so you can realize you made them. Your mistake was... And you realized your mistake and became a better man. Take my hand! The door to the next millennium is right in front of you. Are we done? Keiichi-kun and Kameda-kun seem to be having lots of fun. I have no idea what they're talking about. I hate that I do! Don't bother. I got it, Kay. On my honor as a man, I will help you save that girl. They have the dessert fiestas 4 times a year. So what if I miss one of them? It's not a big deal. He seems so down. Meep. By the way, Mion, you said you were going to give me 3 years' worth of dessert fiesta admissions as a reward for the auction, right? I'll give you 1 year admission if you help me, Kameda-kun. No. Thank you, Kay. I'm a man. I'd be ashamed of myself if saving that girl because I was getting a reward. Okay, ad break time. I am gonna take a drink. Just refilled that. Well, I might have to refill it again, who knows. Alright, welcome back. Let us continue. I'm a man. I'd be ashamed of myself if I was saving the girl just because I was getting a reward. Shi-chan, do you think we could do something for him? Do you? How about this? I'll remove his name from the blacklist. Blacklist? What's that? Normal customers don't know about this, huh? There are customers that cause trouble in this restaurant sometimes. Whenever they do something wrong, their name gets written on the blacklist. Once their name gets written down enough times, they're no longer allowed to enter the restaurant. Stop it now. I'm an Angel Mort Master. I would never behave so unmannered as to get myself on such a blacklist. You touched a waitress improperly twice, called a waitress just to talk with her, and sold tickets outside of the restaurant. You'll be forbidden from entering from one more transgression. No way! I can't believe this. That's horrible. I can't come to Angel Mort. I'll have no reason to live. However, I'm impressed that you're so willing to save Satoko. I'll erase your name from the list as a reward. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hey, Michan, does that blacklist really exist? This old man has no idea. Kameda-kun, thank you. Let me know if you can't get tickets to the next dessert fiesta. I'll invite you. Okay. Hug. Manly. We reaffirmed our strong friendship. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll bring my baseball team members with me. I should be able to get at least 10 people. Sounds like her uncle is a really crazy guy. Wouldn't it be faster to just kick his ass rather than go to the child consultation center? We can't do that, otherwise he'd take revenge on Satoko-chan. I see. Of course we can't commit murder either. Alright. Let's do it the right way. We don't want to get arrested by the police. 10 people is still not enough. Do you think you can get more people from somewhere? You need more people, huh? Let me take care of it. Kameda grinned at me and then suddenly stood up and shouted. Hey, you guys! You heard everything, didn't you? For those who have a ticket for tomorrow, I'm not going to force you. But if you're free, give us a hand. Everyone in the restaurant looked at him. There's a lot of people around. The dessert fiesta is tomorrow, so shouldn't today have just been a normal day? You're not wrong. But the people who missed out on tickets for the dessert fiesta are here today. All these guys are regulars. I don't know their names, but we see each other all the time in this restaurant. What do you think about this story, guys? The longer I listen to it, the more upset I get. Isn't that right, my comrades? Locking a real girl up? What do? I mean, I can't allow that to continue. I will punish any guy who can't be nice to a girl. He can do it in his imagination, but it's unacceptable in the real world. Tell us to come with you, Kay. We admire your hunger. The Okonomiya Squadron is prepared to enact a rescue operation. Please give us the order to attack. This is Operation Satoko. Your mission starts tomorrow evening. Make sure to check on the time of day and your will is written. And may this be the day you die. All right. And I do like that they said, it's fine in your imagination, but do not inflict this on a real girl. I'm sorry, you guys. Thank you for your help. I don't even know her, or you don't even know her. We can't abandon her just because of a tiny thing like that. Besides, we know very much about Princess Satoko. My fellows and I enjoy indulging the warm sentiment that fills our hearts when the young lady fails to notice a bit of cream stuck on her chin. Therefore, this is a personal matter for us as well. All right, you guys. I'm gonna rely on you. You need to back me up, okay? Be ready to fight tomorrow evening. Yeah! Kay! Keiichi-kun is such a popular guy! He is popular with the town council, too. Seems to be popular in the most unexpected places. Lots of other people seem to respect him, too. Some of the waitresses here are also concerned about Satoko. They said they want to come and support us when they're off. Wow. I guess we have about 60 people now. We might even get more than that. So this is the power to defeat fate? Tonight I attended the meeting for the Minagoroshi Festival Committee. Everyone assembled in the meeting room at the Furude Shrine. I'd seen the building a few times, but I hadn't actually been inside before. There were pictures depicting the history of the dam conflict on the wall. According to Mion, the assembly building had been used as the headquarters of the dam project back in the day. There was a huge flag that said Onigafuchi Guardians hanging on the wall, and people had written messages on it. I'd been called to the meeting so I could introduce myself. While I'd been chosen to be the host of the auction several days ago, this was my first time actually attending a meeting. There were about 30 committee members in the room, and my dad and I were introduced to them. Since I'm still a minor, I had to bring him along with me. I'd often heard the term parental rights recently because of Satoko's situation, and because of that I'd been thinking about my relationship between me and my dad. The Maibar family is a pretty happy one, I think. I'm blessed to have parents like them. Hello, I'm Keiichi Marabara. This is my first time doing something like this, and I'm very nervous. But I'll do my best. Hear, hear. You should do your best, young man. The friendly smiles and applause made me realize again how welcoming people are in this village. I felt pressured as though of how big of a responsibility I was going to undertake at the festival. Since I looked so nervous, the leaders of the committee all came up to me and said I could just act natural and do my thing. Thank you for offering my son such an important position. I'm sorry that I'm unable to participate in the council activities due to my job, but I will do what I can to support my son. Clap, 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 clap. My dad must be used to making speeches. All right then, we'll break into groups and start the meeting. It's going to last until 8:50 p.m. Please begin your discussion as soon as you can. The festival committee can be broken up into different teams, like a general affairs team, a construction team, a refreshment booth team, and a ceremony team. Each team has a separate meeting. My dad and I were told to join the event team. But after all, we joined toward the end without knowing anything, and the festival was next Sunday too. I didn't understand anything they were saying, and I couldn't even express my opinions anyway. Nodding and pretending to participate in the proceedings was the most we could do. Near the end, I finally got the information about the auction I needed. I found out that the time I was supposed to be backstage and the other stuff about my job like that. They asked me what I was going to wear, and I stopped short. I thought I could just wear my regular clothes, but they suggested I wear something a bit more flashy since I was the host of the event. But I don't have any clothes like that. How about a suit with a bow tie? That would make you look like a real MC. A bow tie? That's so embarrassing. I want to wear something more casual than that. How's the meeting going, Kei-chan? What you talking about? They're talking about what he's going to wear during the auction. If you don't have anything flashy, I can get you something like that. Really? Oh, I'm sorry, I haven't introduced myself yet. I'm Keiichi's father. Dad, I don't trust him to get me proper clothes. I'm sure he won't get me anything for men. A bow tie is fine. I'll just wear that. If I didn't compromise on that, Irie and Mion would try to make me wear something outrageous. She'd also want me to wear women's clothes. You're part of the committee too, huh? Which team are you on? He's on the General Affairs team, where he's in charge of first aid. We always ask for his help, since he's the doctor and all. All I have to do is give band-aids to people who trip and fall. It's an easy job for the most part. I'm just drinking beer under the main tent. It's nothing compared to your work, Maebara-san. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, ha ha ha. I'm gonna go drink barley tea with him, too. Ipa! You absolutely cannot, Furude-san. Oh, good evening, Maebara-kun. Nice to see you too, Maebara-san. Hello, ma'am. Thank you for being so nice to my son all the time. Maebara-kun, are you ready for the auction? I'm looking forward to seeing your show. It felt weird to see Chie-sensei and the principal outside of school. Rika-chan, you were performing the dance at the festival, right? I heard it's right after my show. I'm looking forward to it. It's a traditional ceremony that she's performing. I'm sure you're nervous about it, huh? How do you feel this year? I'm used to it now, so it's fine. You've only done it once last year, but you're already used to it? I'm impressed. Maebara-san, it's been a while. Oh, Oishi-san. It's nice to see you. Have you been practicing the Tsubame Gaeshi? Niffle, niffle. We should play together. You won't get better unless you play every day, you know. You know how to play Mahjong, Maebara-kun? Oh, he knows how to play, doesn't he? Niffle. He's pretty good. He's a pretty good player, too. Hehehe. Perhaps we really should start playing Mahjong in our club now. We should go and crush every Mahjong parlor in the city. Oishi-san thinks I'm an experienced player since I was practicing the Tsubame Gaeshi the other day. Why do people misunderstand me all the time? By the way, Maebara-kun, I heard about that case. Which case? About what you're planning to do tomorrow evening. A few of my staff members and I are going to be there as well. Takano-san and Tomitake-san are coming too. We can't bring that many people, but I hope you will let us join you. That's so nice of you. Thank you so much. Every person counts. Yay. I'm sorry that we can't do much to help her, but we still want to do something. That's what Takano-san suggested. Takano? Yes. She wanted to help somehow. She feels bad that she wasn't able to assist you the other day. Oh, what are you talking about? Are you talking about that rumor? The one saying that Maebara-kun's become a leader of a protest group or something? Even you know about it? You know about Satoko? Of course he does. He's very sensitive to rumors inside the village. Yeah, it's only my job. I'm very aware of what's going on with Satoko-san. Oishi-san, what do you think about her case? Oishi-san is, after all, a police officer. Could he maybe have an option other than going to the Child Consultation Center? I also think that going to the Consultation Center is the smartest thing to do. Then you're also saying there's no way to save her before something happens? We would probably do the same. We'd meet with him and tell him not to harm her. I'm sure a professional social worker can do a better job than that, though. They take care of, abuse issues better than the police can, which is true. Police only take action after something happens. But the Child Consultation Center can make a move before it does. It'd be a lot easier for us if we could arrest the criminals before they commit crimes. However, we need to be very careful about whom we arrest, you know? We don't want to lose our jobs. In that sense, there's nothing wrong with them saying that they want to wait and see for a while. Meep. I don't think the Child Consultation Center is being unreasonable. However, it must seem terrible from the point of view of those who know Satoko-san and Teppei-san. Koichi-san was exactly right. They must be assuming that we're overreacting by making such a big fuss. It's only been a couple of days since he took her away. But that mindset can create huge problems. I'm sure they're going to call him tonight because we told him that she's been missing from school for 3 days. They'll ask him why she hasn't gone to school. Teppei might beat her up for that. I don't know. However, if he continues to keep her at home after the phone call, the Child Consultation Center will probably make a move. I think they can talk to him about it. She might come to school tomorrow? That's possible. Teppei can't stay in Okonomiya for some reason. That's why he needs to stay at Satoko's house. I'm sure he doesn't want any further trouble. He can't stay in Okonomiya for some reason? Yeah, that's right, for some reason. I heard he had some kind of money-related trouble. You don't know about that, Sonozaki-san? I have no idea. I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean, Mion? There's a reason he wants to stay in Satoko's house? Well, yeah. Teppei has money issues, so he can't live in Okonomiya anymore. He's hiding out in Hinamazawa until the trouble brews over. Then he should hide somewhere alone. Why would he try and drag Satoko-chan into this? You want Satoko as your maid, right? It's the same thing. Only worse. No. It's not right. Maids are about love. There is love behind my desires. I'm totally against violence. A master should treat his maid with love. Let's just ignore the pervert for a moment. He still needs to go jump in that lake. So, Aishi-san, you think there's no choice but to let the Child Consultation Center take care of it? I think that's the most realistic plan. There are certain steps that you need to follow. When you take a piss, you go to the toilet and pull down your zipper. Wow. If you don't follow those steps, it ends in disaster. You said this in front of ladies. That's a gross way to put it. You disgusting old man. I'm sorry, I can't help you. But I do find Satoko-chan's case unfortunate. I hope that everyone gets the happy ending. The Child Consultation Center is going to make their decision regardless, but what you guys are doing isn't against the law either. What you're doing, Maebara-kun, is not a mistake. Don't give up. Do all you can do. I'll support you too. Thank you very much. We went there yesterday and today. We're going to go there tomorrow too. I believe we can save her as long as we don't give up. 3 days in a row, huh? I heard you took 20 people with you today. Are you going to take that many tomorrow too? Hehehe. Kei-chan is really talented when it comes to stuff like this. You'll be surprised, there are going to be 60 people tomorrow. My, that's amazing. I can see you're becoming an active labor union leader when you grow up. Yes, go Keiichi. The head of our union is pretty deplorable. At that moment I heard someone clapping. It was almost 9 p.m. The meeting was over. Everyone returned to their seats and listened to each section heads report about what they discussed. You're incredible, Keiichi. You know so many people from the village, but there are even more people I don't know. Are you sure? You were talking with so many of them. Mm-hmm. I really am impressed. They're such nice people. Maybe I should get more involved with them, too. You should. Hinamazawa is all about helping each other. I know you're busy with your work, but you should be involved as much as you can. I'm going to talk with your mother about that, I think. That's it for the meeting today. Next meeting is... Oh, tomorrow. I'll see you then. It'll be the last major meeting before the festival. Thank you for coming today. Chairman, will you give us some closing remarks? No, it's fine. Let's just go home and get some drinks. That's it for now. Let's meet tomorrow at the same time. Thank you. Ah ha ha ha. Everyone laughed at Mayor Kimiyoshi's closing remarks. We finished cleaning up and everyone began filing out of the building. Even though it was a weekday, some of them were going out for drinks. They asked my dad to go along with them. My dad isn't an ordinary worker. He can sleep in if he wants as long as he makes his deadlines. Keiichi, they want me to come for a drink, so I'm going, okay? Sure, have fun. I'm heading home now. Going home alone was kind of sad, and I thought I'd walk home with Mion, but she was lingering at the meeting, talking with the mayor and some other important people. She was probably busy with their festival being so near. As I contemplated whether to wait for her or not, Oishi-san came up to me. Good job at the meeting. How did you get here? I came to give you a ride home if you want. I came on my bike. Plus, I'm waiting for Mion. I see. You'll be waiting a while, though. They're discussing the trouble they had with the refreshment booth team. Trouble with the refreshment booth team? It seems like such a fun festival. Are they still having some issues, huh? Oh, yes. It's hard to make adjustments this late. Shaved ice and yakisoba are always popular, so everyone wants to do those. Be a problem if those booths sold yakisoba if all the booths sold yakisoba, right? They need to make those kinds of adjustments, so there will be a variety of booths, but people get upset when they have to run a booth that's not going to make much money, you know? They suggest running the booths in rotation every year, but some people don't have enough staff to do certain kinds of booths, and other people claim their yakisoba is better than everyone else's. They also fight about the locations and who to hire, etc., etc. I had no idea that the preparations for a festival were so complicated. Everything needs adjustments. I guess it sounds like boring adult talk to a young man like yourself. But adjustments are necessary to make things go smoothly. What are you doing at the Child Consultation Center is a secret adjustment in a way. Satoko-san and Tepe-san don't know about it. Ugh, I guess you might be right. But we have no choice but to raise our voices. That's the only option we've got. No, I'm proud to see you doing something like this. If I was your age, all I'd be able to do is think about attacking him in the dark. Man! Oh, she must have had other plans. He stuck around while I waited for Mion. There was no one else around at that time of night. Would have felt pretty lonely if he hadn't been there with me. I'm glad Oishi-san stayed to chat. Talked about Mahjong for a while. Its theory, its techniques, and history. I rarely talked to a guy his age, so it was very interesting for me. It's kind of nice. It's nice to interact with people from different generations sometimes. He was also a police officer. I was secretly hoping he'd give me a hint about how to save Satoko. In any case, I had to wonder what was taking me on so long. By the time Oishi-san finished his second cigarette, I started to think that maybe I should go home for the night. I think I'm gonna head home. Mion is taking too long. I have something big to take care of after school tomorrow. Going to the Child Consultation Center, you mean? Yes. I'm going to fight until they come up with a plan to save Satoko. Consistency is important. This is all we can do. Oishi-san smiled upon hearing my passionate words. I bet the Child Consultation Center understands your point by now. You know there's a limit to what you can do. It's important to know when to quit. If you go too far, it'll only make things more complicated. But I can't just let Satoko suffer. Of course you can't. I'm sure the Child Consultation Center won't leave her either. They will help her. They might help her, but probably only after she gets hurt. If Satoko suffers irreversible mental trauma, it's too late. I should took out his third cigarette. That means he's going to stay until he finishes it. I didn't feel like waiting with him, though. I just wanted to go home and relax so I could prepare for tomorrow. I'm going home now. You know, Mayabara-san, there's something I wanted to tell you. The tone of his voice had changed slightly. Whatever it was sounded important. I stopped and turned back around to face him. Actually, you see, I don't think you should go to the Child Consultation Center tomorrow. You made your point already. But we need to do it so we can save Satoko. They aren't getting how urgent the situation is. We have to make it even bigger fuss. That's what it takes for them to understand. I think we'll make a bigger impact if we go there 3 days in a row. You're trying to show them every courtesy, huh? Yeah. But you know, Mayabara-san, sometimes you should just let sleeping dogs lie. What? Let me make this clear. This isn't a warning from the police, and no one told me to tell you this. I'm just giving you advice as your Mahang friend. The word advice didn't sound pleasant at all. I felt myself frowning involuntarily. Do you know what the Child Consultation Center is thinking? You guys showed up 2 days in a row, and you brought 20 people with you today. They're afraid you'll show up again tomorrow. Haha. Then why don't they just listen to us? I hope they're not planning on building a barricade so we can't get in the building tomorrow. No, they won't do that. Their job is to listen to these claims. They'll accept anyone who comes to make an appeal. They can't stop you from coming no matter how many times you show up. They know that too. So they need to take care of the matter before you bring even more people and cause even more trouble. You mean, have they already made the decision to save Satoko? Not quite. They've started making secret adjustments so that you can't come by to pressure them anymore. What do you mean? I made a secret adjustment so that I couldn't bother them anymore? I felt confused in the way she said something that almost sounded like a line from a political drama. These officials sometimes act a bit like the Yakuza. They don't want their badge disrespected. It's normal for them to ignore opinions opposing the decision they've made, even if they realize their office is in the wrong. So if they listen to us, other people will come to their office and get the case taken care of? That's exactly it. They don't want people challenging their decisions. They will listen to your appeal, but they'll never change their stance unless something odd's going on. Plus, this time, Satoko-san's case is nothing special or noteworthy to them. He may have taken her away from where she lived, but it's a legal act. He has parental rights. It's not like a parent without custody forcing his child to live with him. After all, he's the only blood relative she has. There's nothing, legally speaking, that prevents them from living together. But that's not the case with Satoko and her uncle. You know that too. You know how violent he abused her last year. That was last year. The Child Consultation Center can't do anything about it if he tells them that he feels remorse over what happened. And more than anything, Satoko-san told them he's not abusing her. But that's because last year Satoko relied on her brother, and she deeply regrets overburdening him. So far as she's concerned, seeking help feels like she's betraying her brother. I see. It might be very difficult to persuade the Child Consultation Center in that case. Well, anyway, for reasons like that, the center can't understand why your group is pestering this issue so hard. We're just trying to let them know that Teppei is a violent person, and we can't let Satoko stay with him. But why? You weren't in Hinamizawa last year. I don't think you know much about Teppei-san. Why are you so sure that he's dangerous? That was a hard question to answer. He was right, I didn't know much about Teppei. I'd never even seen his face. But I just know. Way back in a different world, I didn't save Satoko. I just stood by and... I've seen the world where Satoko was irreversibly broken. We all cried and regretted it. I couldn't explain that to Oishi, though. My friends had understood my premonition. It's weird for someone to be so aggressive just based on what he saw in his imagination. I mentioned it earlier, but sometimes a divorced couple battles for the custody of their child. The couple can sue each other, and sometimes their relatives can sue the couple too. Some of them decide to sue their partner, not for the child, but just because they hate them. This case is a bit similar to something like that. Looks as though you're taking the actions because you hate Teppei Hojo. The Child Consultation Center needs to determine if you're doing this out of hate or out of a genuine concern towards Satoko-san. Not all people are going to the center out of goodwill like you. Ad break. I think I'll call it after this chapter's done. Just because I can feel my throat getting a little tired at this point. Okay, let us continue. Not all people are going to the center out of goodwill like you. They can only make a decision after carefully determining if the information given by the petitioner is genuine or not. You need to understand that. So you're saying that because I was too direct with them, they've mistaken my appeal as one born out of ill will? No, you don't have to worry about that. Just please try to understand that they have to evaluate it carefully. If they put a child under protection every time they get a report, the nation would careen out of control. That's right, I think there was a passage in the civil law book and the censor showed us the first day. The family or the prosecutor may make a special appeal to the family court. Family issues have to be resolved within the family. An outside appeal might move the center to take action, but an outsider can't tell them how to respond. And when it comes to that, Satoko's only family is her uncle. Since her uncle obviously wasn't going to do anything about this, Satoko wouldn't have to seek help on her own. But Satoko is denying that she's being abused at all. This isn't going anywhere. The consultation center is simply hoping that you'll give up. They have other cases that need more urgent attention. But if they're not sure yet, they should ask you to give up. That's what I wanted to tell you today. What do you mean? I don't get it. Mayabara-san, when you visited them today, did they treat you better than yesterday? Yeah, a bit. We were taken to a bigger room and the manager came to see us too. You might think that the manager is ranked just a little above the regular staff members. However, his position is as high as that of a section chief in a regular company. It's very difficult to achieve that position. The person you talked to today is actually a very powerful man, more than you could imagine. It's not normal for them to do that. The manager normally never shows up for a consultation. You need to recognize the treatment you got today is a very special one. Never seemed that special to me. I thought we were taken to a big room because they went with a lot more people. And Rena told them to adjust to us. Because you were so well organized, they suspected that you were not the actual leader, and that the Sonozaki families are the ones behind this movement. I'm sure you know how powerful the Sonozaki family is in this village. I do. But it has nothing to do with the Sonozaki family. We're simply fighting to save our friend. Mion hasn't even mentioned her name. That's what the Child Consultation Center wanted to know. It's their normal routine to politely refuse a huge crowd of petitioners. However, things would be different if this was Oryo Sanazaki's idea. Oryo-san holds great sway in the city's government. No one can go against her wishes. I'm aware that Mion's grandmother is very powerful, but that has nothing to do with this. In order to make that clear, the local government officials have approached the Sonozaki family in secret. They met Oryo-san and asked her about this case. They were going to take action if they found out that it was her idea. But they soon discovered otherwise. So they're not going to take any action anymore? It's not just that. Oryo-san is now aware that there's a commotion going on within the village. I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but some people in the village still hold a grudge against the Hojo family, the traitors of the dam conflict. Ever since the curse of Oyashiro-sama, the Sonozaki family has been telling people not to interact with the Hojo family. You might wake up a sleeping dog if you continue to make all this noise. What happens if I wake the dog up? I don't know. Oishi-san paused for a while and drew his short cigarette. I'm not saying that you'll be threatened or that they will hurt you. However, you just moved here, and you're starting to get to know people from the village, but soon enough you might get to see the underside of this place. The issue between the Hojo family and the Sonozaki family. Well, village-wide matters have been slightly taboo in our group, but we may have to go down that road now. It's a fact that they haven't gotten any support from the adults except from the school teachers in Irie. Other adults in this village must know what's happened between Satoko and Teppei last year. They all understand that it would be a disaster if we don't rescue Satoko as soon as possible. However, no adult came forward to help us. If we continue our movement, would the people who hate the Hojo family become our enemy too? That's possible. The Sonozaki family may get involved if you continue this commotion. You could say that the Sonozaki family is anti-Hojo. If you try to save Satoko-chan using people from Hinamizawa, that shows a huge disrespect towards the Sonozaki family. It could create a huge problem. By that point, I knew. This was a warning, not just advice. An ignorant young man in Hinamizawa is making noise, trying to wake up a sleeping dog. I know you've taken a liking to this place, and that you're really doing your best here. That's why. I thought I should let you know about this. I'm sorry if I upset you. I love Hinamizawa. I've made the decision to make this place my home. I'm motivated about the big job I get for the festival, too. Would it really be wise for me to try and create all this trouble? I'm just speaking as your friend, nothing more. I'm not trying to threaten you or anything like that. I'm not trying to make you do anything you don't want to do. I just wanted to give you this information. Oishi smiled at me and stomped on his cigarette. I thought I just made the decision to do what was right. But was that the only stupid idea of an ignorant boy? Did I need to grow up right now and think about this again? Dark clouds hung over my heart. But wait a minute. Did that mean I didn't even have the courage to risk losing something? Was I not brave enough to save Satoko at all? I had to be the red fire. I couldn't give up if everybody else did. I had to fill other people with righteous flames, just like I was. What's the matter? What a bold smile you're wearing right now. Thank you for the valuable advice. But I can't give up no matter what you tell me. I won't stop even if the whole world tells me to. Even if the whole world is against you, huh? You're a stronger man than I thought. The whole world is telling me that I'm making a mistake. Then I'll have to stop and reevaluate myself. However, I've already talked to Satoko-chan's case with my friends over and over again. This isn't just my idea. I'm confident that our decision is the very best one to make. I agree with you, Mayabara-san. Young people like you tend to make hasty and dangerous decisions. However, all of you are being very rational about this. You're making a democratic appeal. Just like Dr. Irie was saying, there's nothing wrong with your methods. I know. I'm positive we're not making any mistakes. We're doing our best to save our friend. We're not going to give up just because we feel threatened. We are true comrades. I have faith in us, even if the rest of the world doesn't. That's what friendship is all about. You have a strong will. Not even my detectives are as strong as you are. Oishi-san gave me a wicked grin of admiration. I could tell from that grin. He wasn't trying to pressure me at all. It was exactly the opposite. He had shared his information with me to confirm that I was ready to face the challenge. I didn't even have to consider whether or not his words were advice or a warning. Every man has many things he wants to keep believing in, even if others don't share that belief. Of course, it's important to listen to the advice with sincerity, but some beliefs you can't still turn away from. That's what being a man is all about. Nufufu. I also have a strong will, you know. About 5 years ago, a person who was like a brother to me was killed. He was murdered? The case was declared solved, but continuing an investigation alone because I suspected there was another person in control behind the scenes. The department told me I was wasting my time. They told me to stop. But just like you, I can't give up. Are you getting close to finding out who did it? I don't know about that. Anyway, if your resolve is that strong, then there's nothing you need to fear. Just follow through on your own beliefs. I'm often threatened to show more restraint if I want to keep my full retirement pay myself. But I've never given in. There's a lot of things men can't convey without being unwavering. Exactly right. We can't give up no matter how risky it'll be. It's important to pursue your goal. And even if you end up playing into their hand, that's what being a man is about. If you're going down, then go down fighting. You're right, waffling between whether to go or back out isn't the attitude of a real man. Isn't that how a man should be? We both our fists together, reaffirming that real men have the same regardless of their generation. It wouldn't be a simple road to saving Satoko, but I was never going to give up. I was going to save her. I have no doubts about that. Hint time? Hint time? Hint time. Okay, reception's note. Sending the brat back. Oh boy. Magician of words. New tips. No relations. Please hold for a moment. I'll get her. Horyu-san, someone from the municipal government is calling. Aha, hello? Hello, Sonozaki-san. This is Ida from the municipal government. Thank you very much for the ohagi the other day. You're quite welcome. Thank you for your work at the Culture Festival. Also for providing the large parasol. How much does that thing cost? We use it every year, so we might as well buy one ourselves. We borrowed that from a teacher. I checked out the price, but domestically made ones cost about 200,000 yen. I also found one made in China that's less than about half the price. I don't care if it's made in China or not. Just get one so we won't cause any more trouble for the teachers. We're actually ordering it already. Once it arrives, you might want to take a look and make a final decision. Also, we've been holding the same Edo-style tea ceremony for the past 3 years. We should probably get an instructor from a different style. Can you look into a new instructor for next year? Oh, I see. Will do, ma'am. We'll find a different tea ceremony instructor. About that advisor. I had something else to ask you about. And here's me going on about a parasol. So what do you need? We were wondering if you heard anything about the case of Satoko Hojo-san in Hinamazawa. Satoko Hojo? Huh? You're talking about that blasted Hojo girl? What did she do? Well, she's recently moved in with her uncle. But she's being abused, apparently. Have you heard anything about it? Her uncle? Satoka's being abused? I've never heard anything like that. Oh, well, if you don't know, that's okay. To tell you the truth, someone from Hinamazawa came to petition the Child Consultation Center. According to the center, the petitioner was very persistent. The manager felt it was better to talk with you if you already knew about it. I don't know anything about it, and I don't care. Why would I do anything for that pitiful child? The Sonozaki family has nothing to do with this. Have you heard anything about it from the town council? No. What are you saying? If Kimiyoshi was helping that blasted Hojo child, then the Sonozaki family would know all about it. Who's petitioning the child consultation center? I heard from some of her classmates were there, well, as far as I know anyway. I guess it's just something that her classmates are doing, and the village has nothing to do with it? Of course not. I don't know anything. The village has nothing to do with Satoko. The contents of the conversation were forwarded to the child consultation center. If Odia wasn't behind the commotion, they had no need to take the case seriously. The manager told his staff to listen to what the petitioners have to say, but to never say anything promising the girl's safety. Hichimaru-kun, huh? I guess a boy like that will grow up to be a political advisor in the future, advocate in the future. Sending the brat back. It'd been 3 days since he told her to stay home. He got another call from that annoying teacher again, so he yelled at her and hung up the phone. That woman is too persistent, Teppei thought. She won't give up that easily. He was sure that she'd call the child consultation center again. The biggest reason why Teppei refused to let Satoko go to school was the fear that she'd seek help while going there. She pretended like nothing was wrong when the social worker from the child consultation center showed up. That was only because he was right beside her. She'd probably betray him as soon as she got her chance. Then the consultation center would show up immediately. No, maybe even the police would come get him for assaulting Satoko. One of his friends told him that the consultation center works for the police sometimes. Teppei had a lot of weight on his shoulders. If the police came, they'd end up questioning him about the other trouble he was involved in. He couldn't let that happen. All he needed was the money. Teppei could leave this awful village behind as soon as he found his brother's bank book. Teppei usually stayed at home, as he found the way the other villagers looked at him unpleasant. So when playing Mahjong with his friends, he played it at Satoko's house. But Mahjong requires at least 4 people. When Teppei couldn't get that many people to come over, he'd just stay at home alone and watch TV instead. He started using ample free time to sniff around the house for his treasure. Satoko would end up cleaning the mess he made. Besides, it wasn't his home anyway. What did it matter to him how much furniture he broke? He cleared out the closet and went up to the attic. He also pulled out all the chests and searched them thoroughly. His wife had been a pretty clever woman. She must have hid it somewhere very unusual. He messed with the whole first floor, and went to the second floor to search some more. The next moment, Satoko went up and tried to tackle him. Not Nini's room! What the hell? No, you can't go inside Nini's room! Teppei immediately assumed she was hiding the bank book in there. He threw her off and forced his way inside the room. However, Satoko tried to stop him with all of her might. It was amusing for Teppei to see Satoko resisting him to that extent, but it also surprised him a little. He asked her why she didn't want him to go into Satoshi's room. That room's belongs to Nini. Nini will be hurt if he comes in and sees his room destroyed. You don't want me in there just 'cause it's your brother's room? You don't even know if he's still alive. Nini is alive. He will come back home. Don't destroy his room. What are you saying? I'm not going to destroy the room. I'm just trying to clean it up. Why would you have to save this room for someone who's not here anymore? I just need to clean it up. No, you can't. Nini. The hell? You really don't want me to go inside, huh? Toko's crazed behavior convinced him that he should stop provoking her for the moment. While Teppei was very talented at threatening people, despair makes cowards courageous. If he ignored Satoko and tore apart the room, she might just run away. He didn't want Satoko to be nearby, but he also couldn't let her run loose. Fine then. If you promise to be a good girl, I won't go inside this room. All right? Got it? Yes. But if you make me mad, I'm gonna rip this room apart. If you escape from this house or tell other people about what's happening, everything in there is gonna end up in the garbage. Got it? Yes, yes, thank you for giving me a chance. Teppei was sure the bank book was inside Satoshi's room. But Satoko would lose it if he went inside. He wasn't pleased about the promise he made with her, but at least it kept Satoko under control. It might not hurt for him to send her off to school. If he kept her home again tomorrow, that teacher might come to the house with the police in tow. He was only keeping her home because he was afraid Satoko would talk to other people. If she wasn't going to do that, it'd be better for him to send her to school. He could sneak into Satoshi's room while she was out. Satoko, you've been a good girl, so I guess your cold is all better now. Go back to school tomorrow. Thank you so much. He was the one who told her to say thank you when he gives her approval to do something. But it annoyed him to hear her say it over and over again. Get out of my sight, you little brat. Gah, you're so annoying. And on that cheery note, we're gonna end. We're gonna save first. So I think I'm about halfway through this arc now. Wow! So it'll probably still take me a couple more streams to get through it entirely, but, you know, good progress. So let's find somebody to raid. Oh, I heard a yippee. Hi, Liv! Thank you for the yippee! I was hoping you were lurking in there somewhere. Let's see, where shall we go today? Thank you to the lovely 4 people what stuck around. I always appreciate it when people stick around for these longer reading streams, because I enjoy them, even if they're not always not the most popular. But I've always wanted to get through this series, so... Alright, let's see... Cool. Let's see who's going right now. Bop. Let's see. You know, it's been a while since I've rated Bell. Hopefully, he's not gonna finish immediately. So, we'll do that. It looks like he's still going for a little bit. Alright, I'm gonna send you off now. I hope everybody has a good day, and thank you so much. Bye!